if you, Sid, could turn into a hot, muscly cat man with like
Mm-hmm.
fur all over yourself, big
Mm-hmm.
arms, big pecs, you have
Mm-hmm.
wings, you can fly, you can shoot
I
energy bolts
do.
like out of your hands.
I use
Like,
those.
if you could become a man cheetah, if you would you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know. Uh,
You
I
want to
mean,
think about it for a second, or you just want to just say yes immediately?
no, I'm good. Like,
Okay.
let's do it. Let's like, some people get plastic surgery, some people get genetic mutations. I get it.
Who hasn't been there,
I
really?
wanna, I wanna be like a white tiger.
Oh, like a Bengali?
Yeah, yeah,
Those are cool.
yeah. Like, if I could be like a mutate, that's what I would be.
You become a man tiger.
Yes, yes. Also, I'm recording all this because this is good material.
Yeah, I should have checked before I even started. Yeah, I assumed that we were recording. That
Okay,
was my
cool, cool.
intro.
Ah, I loved it. That was a good intro. I'm proud of
Great.
you.
Welcome to the Loincloth Hour, which it's been a hot
Mm-hmm.
minute since we've put ourselves on the airwaves, but
I
like
know,
Christmas
right?
happened.
There was a whole
Uh
like scandal. I had to go into hiding.
yeah. Yeah, what?
Like, no,
I
I
mean,
mean like,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, it's fine. I didn't. I was falsely accused of
I was
taking
wrongfully
jock
accused.
straps.
Oh, that who's jockstraps? A famous
Wolves.
sports star?
No, we're just wolves.
Oh,
Just wolves.
just wolves.
It's become
Um,
habit. It became a habitual thing, and then like he had to take me to court and everything.
wow. Okay, now I'm trying to like imagine him in a courtroom, like with a suit.
My
I
God,
I
get
can't.
out of that monkey suit, you fucking dumbass! Get out of it! No, no, get out of my head
It's a
with that
very
monkey
strange
suit.
image. Like it doesn't really jive.
It doesn't. No, not at all.
Okay,
What the
let's
fuck,
do a
dude?
quick recap
Okay,
of the things
okay.
we've been up to since last time. We have our own Loincloth Hour YouTube channel,
We do.
which you should all subscribe to and watch their videos on. We're trying to put all the episodes on. I
Subscribe.
think we only have like up to 6 at the moment, but I'm trying to do like
Hmm.
one a day. And we also put
Yeah.
like funny videos. We have like little clips. We have like all the hot moments that we talk about in the show. We
Hmm.
try to put them like on the YouTube so other people can see them if maybe you don't remember what the
Hmm.
fuck we're talking about. So yeah, you should all subscribe to it. We've tweeted it. We'll tweet it again probably. I don't know. We should probably clip it or link it somewhere. So that happened. Let's see what the fuck else happened.
I've been working my ass off, really.
You've been working your ass off. You are sick at the moment.
I'm in
Uh,
quarantine
yes.
because
Poor
I'm a sick
Sid.
boy.
He
Hmm.
caught the that little
Cor-
bug that's been going
I
around, which
I
we call
caught the
Corona. Yeah.
coronavirus. I'm this is the voice of COVID you're hearing right now. Like I'm COVID manifesting through Sid and speaking through his
So,
voice. And
like,
I'd like to apologize on behalf of my deeds.
you're like, luckily you're feeling okay-ish.
Yeah, no, I'm asymptomatic. I mean, I
Yeah.
have a slight cough now and then, but I mean, who doesn't get like a cough after being sick? I did have like a fever the first couple days, but I mean, I obviously treated that with medicine,
Oh, you
and I
use
wasn't sure if it
medicine.
was COVID. Yeah, I use medicine every day. I use Aleve and I use Mucinex.
Okay. Like when I get sick, I don't use anything on me because I've had like reactions to medicine, so I'm afraid to like ever take anything, and it sucks.
The only things I avoid are like really big pills, but yeah, no, honestly, it's like the best way to treat it because I hate being sick personally. I don't like feeling sick, so I just use this brand of medicine to make myself feel good. Totally not a advertisement for Mucinex at all.
But if anyone's listening, if you are not vaccinated, please get vaccinated.
I did get the Pfizer last summer before you and I met up, but that was the
Yes.
last
Yeah.
time I
Well,
ever got any
yeah,
kind of
you are
vaccination.
vaccinated, and I hopefully that's helping you get through this okay. But just in case
Yeah.
anyone out there isn't, like, please do so. Please get your
Mm-hmm.
booster. Do everything you can.
Mm-hmm. It's important. And wear a mask.
Yes, all of those wonderful things. Don't be an asshole.
I have to wear a mask around my house.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Yeah, I
I
know.
feel like I had
I
like
mean,
other stuff to talk about. I'm drawing a
we
blank.
we got really into the COVID like talk, and it bummed us out a little, I
No,
think.
well, we're gonna get into a better mood soon because
Yeah.
I sort of enjoyed this episode more than I
Oh
remember
God.
enjoying it in the
Oh
past.
God. Oh God. You and I are no. Come on.
Okay,
You
no,
and
like,
I are
okay,
not
I'm not.
on the same
All I'm saying
page.
is I enjoyed watching the episode. I'm not saying
I'm
I
jealous.
agree with the decisions all the characters made in it.
God, it's just this episode was so hard for me to watch. Like I was actually visibly annoyed by like every decision every character
Okay, well,
made,
I
and
can't
I'm
wait to
just
have
like,
fights with you and defend all the
oh
stupid
my
decisions that these people
God,
are
I
making.
can't. I can't. Oh my God,
um,
I I didn't have I wasn't entertained or anything. This was
not
such a downgrade
entertained.
after. For me, this was such a downgrade after the season premiere,
Okay,
and
yeah,
it's like
it was not as good as Leader of the Pack, which was like an amazing episode. Like,
that's like a god tier
this
Gargoyles
is a step
episode.
down, but I feel like this episode does a lot of things. It has a lot of balls in the air, and like not all of them land like maybe they should.
I
But
think
I
it does too
admire
much at once.
their gumption.
I mean, like they want to do this whole new story arc, but it's like they need like 20 minutes to like implement it into play.
Yeah, like
And it's like,
uh-huh.
yeah, go on, go
No,
on.
sorry, I was gonna say like the general problem with the mutate story arc that they have is like they always take like 10 episode breaks like between the mutate episodes. Like every time we go back to them, I barely remember like who these people even are anymore. And when we do see them, I generally don't like them. Like
What? Okay, I don't like half of them. The other half are good. I
I
like
feel
seeing
okay,
the
the
other
half we
half.
don't like, I feel like they sort of like color my
They take
perception
up
of the whole episode.
they take up
Usually.
too much screen time.
Yes. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. Before we do start, we got an email after our last episode, which I do want to just touch on very
Okay.
quickly. So I'm going to read it out. This is from Artizek, who I know,
Okay.
I believe is an artist. I know he follows us. He's in our
Yes.
Discord.
Yes. Yes.
All around cool dude. But it's about
Oh yeah.
a scene from Thrill of the Hunt, where if you remember, there was Fox and Hyena in their prison cells, and Fox was reading a book,
Yes.
and Hyena was like torturing small animals, like she does.
Thrill the Hunt. No, this is Leader of the Pack. you're
Oh
talking
yeah,
about.
you're right. They're all wolf episodes to me. They're all the sort of just that hotness.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
okay, so Artizek writes, pleasantly surprised to hear Croup talk about Jean-Paul Sartre for 10 minutes, only to miss the reference to Kafka's Metamorphosis that comes 2 seconds later. For shame. They drew cockroaches for a reason. I have to say, Fox has a lot more patience than I do. Sartre's writing is extremely dense, and his plays are kind of preachy. Croup, if you're interested in existentialism, I recommend Albert Camus, I hope I'm saying that right, as a more accessible entry point, particularly his novel The Stranger and the Plague. I thought your Thrill of the Hunt episode was my favorite, but this last one steals top spot. My job is very boring, and nothing helps more than 3 hours of shameless wolf thirst and Huron laughing as you two argue over gargoyle peck squeezes. I can't wait for you to discuss the next episode, especially after hearing your take on lovable douchebag Fang and my favorite precious good boy Claw. What kind of person do you think each of the mutates were before the transformation, and what led them to the present dilemma, particularly Claw? So, okay, we'll talk about the mutate stuff, like, probably at the
Probably
end of the
later,
show. Yeah,
after
like,
the
once we introduce the
episode.
characters. But
After the breakdown.
I do just have to say, I did not miss the reference to Kafka that she was reading. I just thought it was so obvious, actually, that I didn't need to talk about Kafka's Metamorphosis, which, by the way, is about a man who wakes up and he's been turned into a cockroach,
Yeah.
just like Hyena is
Yeah,
torturing
I
the cockroaches.
I've done a school report on the Metamorphosis for college.
I didn't miss the... By the way, the name of the episode we're about to go over is entitled Metamorphosis. Do
Oh
you
my
think that's like a
god.
through line they intended?
Well, okay, but the thing you have to register, Group, is that not everybody is as much of is as much as a how do I put this knowledgeable individual on the subjects of ancient literature that they're just
Ancient.
gonna you know
That is true, but
not
I just had to
they're
defend
not
myself. Like,
yeah
how dare
okay
you imply I didn't catch that reference?
okay fair, but yeah, I mean I didn't really put a lot of thought into it. The thing is like you put like you're very like thorough with your
I
like
try to be, but even I miss something once in a while. So yes,
I
Artizet
mean
is correct that I did
yeah
not mention that reference. I just let it slide on by. I was probably talking about
okay.
Hyena and Fox like having prison sex. I don't know what we were talking about at the time.
There's a lot of prison stuff going on.
There sure was. But yeah, after that
Okay.
slanderous email,
Okay, but let's get into the episode now.
let's get into it. And thank you for
Yeah.
emailing us, Artizet. I'm just
Thank
joking. I'm not
you.
actually offended.
Okay.
Previously on Gargoyles, Derek Mazza was a fuckboy, and he gave
Oh
Xanatos
my
a bunch of
god.
blowjobs, and he still is.
Oh my god. And like I said, it never established whether he listened to the fucking voicemail or not. He just
Okay,
prefers being in this rivalry ship with Elisa even though she's trying to compromise.
I'm pretty sure
And
he didn't listen to it.
obviously.
Yeah. But like that, so not like everything that happened in this episode is really like his own fucking fault. Because if he listened to
Yeah,
what
it's
Elisa had
like
said, maybe this wouldn't be happening.
like you're gonna trust some fucking billionaire over your own sister
Uh
for
huh.
petty reasons? Oh my god, I can't.
He's
I
like
can't.
he's an Elon Musk like stan on the internet. Like every time there's
He
valid criticism of his,
he
like he's
buys
one of those
NFT.
internet tough guys who like jumps in front of it and is like,
He
no.
has like a bunch of NFTs in
Oh
his
my god.
collection, and he invests in
He's always
Dogecoin.
yeah, Dogecoin. It would be like Guard coin.
Oh my god, no!
This is
Okay,
cursed.
we're not gonna make gargoyles in that. No, no, bad Xanatos.
Bad. Okay, but
I do
Xanatos
feel like
would
that's
do
something.
that.
Yeah. Okay, he would canonically create his own crypto. Because why the fuck wouldn't he? He'd call it like Guard Coin or
He
Xan.
already has like his own compound upstate, which he calls like Xanadu or whatever the fuck. Like
Oh
everything
my
is named after
fucking
himself.
god. Ah,
It's called
Jesus.
Xanax coin. I don't.
Xanax Coin. No.
And Owen would be in charge of like gathering all the graphics cards or whatever the fuck they need to mint
Yeah,
these
like
coins.
all the cryptocurrencies to current the crypto.
Okay,
This
so
is
I know that you didn't
God.
take a
Rough,
lot of
rough
notes on
it
this
away.
one because you were running errands. So should I just take point and just
I
forge
was not
ahead?
only was I running errands, but this episode like mentally annoyed the fuck out of me as I was watching it.
I can't
So,
wait to cause you so much pain. As
oh
we
my
record.
god,
I'm gonna enjoy
I
every second of this.
so I'm not taking notes for two reasons today. I don't have time for all this mutate bullshit. Like this drama.
There's a lot of drama that's going to be happening.
There is like it's like almost soap opera-ish, I would
It's
say.
it's extremely soap opera. Yeah. Like I felt like I was watching an episode of X-Men. Like towards the end there, I was like, "There's so much drama happening. People making
Yeah,
dramatic poses."
it did kind of feel like X-Men at the end there.
Like yeah, I'll get to it when we get there, but especially one part.
Because I mean,
towards the end.
I watched some episodes of the animated series. I haven't
Yeah,
watched it as much as you
boy.
have, but it's like I remember what they were like. I watched them when I was a kid,
So good.
younger than when I watched Gargoyles.
Oh, so maybe you like were checking out Sabretooth's ass like as a young lad.
I did
And-
have when I was a kid. I saw like the episode where it showed his like tragic backstory and everything. I
That's
did like
right.
feel like
We've talked about
I
that.
did feel like a strong connection to him
Uh-huh.
because of that. And since then, I think he's just he's like a hyperfixation of mine.
Because as a younger person, Sabretooth like canonically got his ass whipped with a belt by his dad, and now like he still wants that as like a big hulking muscle man. So like that's his tragic
Dude,
backstory.
dude, like he's
He
just
just
so
wants someone to
big.
give that to him
He's
again.
a big bulging man.
He's so big.
A big bulging cat man. I
Speaking
wanna
of
pin
big bulging cat
I wanna
men,
pinch his cheeks and see how he'll react.
he'd probably kill you.
Yeah,
He'd
but you
react
know
like
what? A,
Hyena did when that random guy like asked for her autograph at the party. She just pulled a knife on him and was like, "I'll kill you." Do you remember that?
I do. I love that scene. I love those two. I miss them. They're so
I feel
wacky.
like Hyena and Sabretooth would be best friends.
They would be
They
besties.
would just
But then
go
they
on like
try to
rampages
they might
together.
try to kill each other at one point.
Well, who doesn't? You know, every
We
once in a
haven't even
while.
gotten into the start of this episode yet because we're just talking about stuff we love.
Okay. The episode is called Metamorphosis. We
Yeah.
start on the view of Castle Wyvern. Then the camera like lowers down into the city, down to the streets below, and I sort of like that because like it's sort of the fantastical, and then you end with the
Okay.
real. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
It's very scenic, very important. You know, very B'dur
The dirt. Yeah. Okay. So we see a solitary newspaper being blown by the wind, and for one frame, I know this because I went through it frame by frame. You can see what's written on the newspaper, and it just says Bedur Har on
I
it,
love it.
which I
Oh my
like.
god.
Like in animation, if a viewer isn't going to see something, like they're not going to actually, of course, write out a whole newspaper article.
Oh
Like they're
my
just going to put up,
god.
you know,
Vidurhar.
text
That's what they put
nonsense.
up.
I just think
I'm
it's
gonna
funny.
like maybe that's just like the actual title on that particular newspaper that day. Like
Yeah.
what they're talking about the Vidurhar harbor.
It could be, or maybe it's the airstrip that we'll see later on. But okay, so it's a cold night. You see steam rising out of vents, and then we lower ourselves down to see some homeless people. They're gathered around a burning oil drum, you know, like you do, and
Like homeless people
yeah,
do.
like homeless people do. And they grab the newspaper that's been floating around. And they just toss it into the fire. So it's interesting to
Wow.
me that this is the first time we've seen any homeless people on the show. Because like if you've ever been to New York or like any major city, like it's kind of impossible not to see them. But this is the first time. This
Yeah.
might be the only time we see homeless in this show. I don't remember
There
seeing them later on or not.
There are a lot of homeless people in my area.
Mm-hmm.
Interestingly enough, not really interesting, but you know, it's like I can't go to the Walmart supermarket without all these like old, you know, wounded veterans holding up signs and stuff for like money. Like
Yeah.
every day, like literally every day I go to the store, I see that,
It's
and
just it's like a fact of life where we live. Like
it is,
where I
it
used to
is.
live in Austin, I was at a Dollar General store working,
Mm-hmm.
and it was in a poorer neighborhood, and like most of our customers were homeless people who come in like just for like snacks or cigarettes or
Yeah,
something. So
yeah.
it's just interesting to me that like we're finally seeing them on Gargoyles, I guess.
Yeah, but then we pan off to the side and we're introduced to like the worst
We
one.
meet the worst one.
Even when she's like homeless and I feel bad for her for being homeless, she's literally like I'm not like the others
That's
here.
the first line she fucking says. She says, "I'm
It's
not
like
like these others," and I'm just like,
oh,
"Yes,
you know what
you are."
what
One.
fucking drives me? Okay. We haven't even introduced her yet. And she's already fucking pissing me
Okay,
off. Like
so
first she's like I'm better than everyone else, and she spends the rest of the episode like no, I'm just like everyone else.
but this
Like
that's
what
a
the
line that
fuck?
she'll keep saying through the whole
Oh my
episode. She keeps
god.
denying like the reality of her situation, and I think the
I
only reason she
no,
would
I
act
get
like that
it.
is if she harbors like her own prejudices, basically, right? Against like the poor, against homeless people, against like monsters, so to speak. Like
Yes.
she
Okay.
doesn't, you know, she doesn't like them, so she can't be one. Even though if you look in the mirror, girl, like you are one, and they're all people just like you are. But like she's not ready to face that. So I
Yeah.
just we Saito
No,
analyzed the
I
character
mean you're
before we even said her name.
you're
Okay, so her name is
absolutely
Maggie.
right. Her name's Maggie Reed.
She's from Ohio, and
Oh my
okay,
god.
so she's peeking around the corner at these other homeless people on a fire. She is not with them. And then she's talking to someone behind her. She said, "I'm not like these others," which is just a very unlikable thing for her to say.
Yeah, well, for anyone to say, really.
And then this very smarmy voice replies, "Of course you're not. I can see that."
This
And
fucking character.
oh my god. Okay, this is Tim Curry in one of my favorite roles that he's been in. But like, has he ever been in a bad role though? Like, he's perfect in
Yeah.
everything.
Like
He's playing a
he's Tim Curry.
wonderful crazy man, and
A wonderful crazy.
he's he's fantastic. But okay, so Maggie goes on. She says, "I haven't been in New York long. This is just a temporary setback." Now, Sid,
Yeah.
do you think she's telling the truth here?
No.
Like, cause she looks awful. Like, I feel like she's been on the streets for a while by this point.
Yeah, she has.
And okay, I also think the real reason that she's not with the other homeless, this is my own like personal headcanon. Either I think the most likely thing is she might have tried to steal from them at some point. And like they caught her and now like she's not like allowed by them anymore. Like just that just seems like the most likely thing to me.
Yeah,
Why
that
she'd be
that does
ostracized like
actually
even by
sound.
other homeless.
That does sound pretty right. Yeah.
Like she was
Even the
probably like
homeless people
desperate
don't
or
want
hungry
her.
enough that she like just tried to do that, and now she's really in it because she's on the streets. Like she has no one. We never really even we don't learn why she's in New York. Like she's moved there. Like maybe she
She's
was.
from Ohio.
She's from Ohio, but like we don't know why she's in New York, how she got here, like what she came here for. Who knows? By the way, something like 30% of the homeless youth identify as LGBTQ. So like, I just thought I'd toss that number out here.
Yeah, that is very true.
Not that Maggie is one of them, but like I was thinking of that like as I was watching her. I'm just like, yeah, this like she's in a bad situation right now.
I've literally been to one of the local downtown concerts, and some local like drunk homeless guys were literally dancing in front of the stage and making out at one point.
Nice.
Yeah, I was proud of them.
But anyway, Savaris doesn't care about anything she's saying. He just says, "As it happens, I need a temporary assistant. Easy work, and it pays well. Plus, much nicer surroundings than these."
I love how you're doing this in your like kind of Tim Curry voice.
Okay, I didn't
too.
even. I just sort of slipped into like his voice is
I heard
really
it.
good.
Well, that's because it's Tim Curry.
It's yeah. I just like how
We
he
love
says things.
we love Tim Curry.
And she says, "Well, what would I have to do?" And then there's an extreme close up on his like extremely evil face.
It's interesting that like I'm not gonna go into this analogy right now, but
I want to know. Tell me.
Okay. Like the way she says that line immediately, the first thing that went to my head was like, oh wait, no way, is this like prostitution going on here? That it's like he's holding a cane and he's wearing a trench coat,
He has
and I'm
a
like,
pimp
oh my
cane.
god, he does.
Okay.
Like, that's
You said like that did not occur to me, but I feel like that is the most obvious reading now that you said it. Like, yeah, this is about sex work.
yeah. I mean, like that's the first impression, not knowing like the plot of the mutation thing this guy's gonna do. Like that's what it looks like at first.
And,
But
and
then,
for all
like,
we know, she might have gone into it thinking that it was sex work.
oh yeah,
You know?
like
Okay.
there's a lot. There's
Yeah,
a
there
lot
is a
going
lot.
on. It's a very dark opening. We're introduced to like this character, this fucking character.
Two characters.
Well, two characters.
One of them much worse than the other, but also much more entertaining.
I Okay, I like the entertaining one's okay. I don't like the other one. Okay, I made my point.
Yes. Scene changes. It's daytime now. We're at an airstrip. I don't know what airport this is supposed to be, but it looks like really clean here and
It's
folksy.
like it looks like it's in like Canada or
I don't know where the
something.
fuck we are. Like it's green. Uh, there's
And
like
this is
nice
probably
wide open
near where
fields.
Xanatos has his like summer home or
Maybe it's
whatever.
Xanadu. Yeah.
Is
There's
that
also like there's like baseball music playing. That's the wrong word. It's I don't know what to call this music, but it
carnival
makes me think of
music?
like good old fashioned America and apple pie. You know, like does that make sense?
It's like the Deadly Premonition whistling song.
I don't know what the fuck that is.
That it's so good. Like I play it on the loop on a daily basis, 24/7, and like you have to hear it.
Okay.
Not right now. We're talking about gargoyles.
So we see Elisa. She's at a hot dog vendor. Before we even get into Elisa's complete inability to eat a hot dog, I do have one question. Syd, like, why is there a hot dog vendor here by an
It's
airport where there's no one around? What?
uh
Because there's no
da,
one. There's
da,
only
da,
Elisa is there.
da, 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 da,
Like,
da,
how much
da,
business is he
da,
getting? Like, why
da,
is he here?
da,
Shouldn't he be on the streets with
da,
Maggie,
da,
selling his hot dogs to the people?
da, 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 Twin Peaks theme song.
So Elisa says to him, know what the
That's what
Zen
it
master
feels
said to the
like.
hot dog vendor? Make me one with everything. And like she clearly thinks she just told a great joke. But the hot
Oh
dog
my
vendor is just like, I've
god.
heard that one like a fucking 100 times, lady. Like, just take your hot dog and leave.
She's so dorky.
She is so dorky. But okay, then there's the moment.
The moment.
The moment.
TM.
I don't. How do I describe this? She takes the hot dog. She lifts it to her mouth.
The
But like,
moment.
it's like upside down, or like it's. She's holding it like vertically. Like, so it's. And then she takes a bite of like only the hot dog. None of the bun that's
Oh
around
my
it.
god.
Like, I can't. Okay, it's a ridiculous, insane way to
Okay.
eat a hot dog, which
Okay.
I've never
It's
seen
like
anyone
if,
do in real life.
have you ever seen anyone like just like eat like a burrito but only the skin of it? That's what this feels like.
What? No, I've never seen anyone do that.
It's fine. It's fine. I guess I'm just like used to weird eating habits around me.
Like, it's just like the first time I noticed her eating it like that, I was like, what? What?
Dude, she just like
Who?
picks it up and starts hogging it,
Why?
man.
So okay, so that happened.
She's straight hogging the hot dog.
Oh my god. No.
Yeah.
Anyway, the scene is
That's what
completely
it's
pointless because it's
called.
just her waiting for Derek. And then he's there because he lands in this like
'Cause
really
we
sweet
need
looking
we need an
plane.
establishing scene for these two, just so we have something to mirror the final scene. Because you know you remember their siblings, and you're like, oh no,
Yes.
okay, but yeah.
But the scene of her waiting at the hot dog vendor doesn't really need to be like. Okay, I feel like this
I like
episode,
it.
if I had to criticize one
think
thing
it
about it,
adds
is it
flavor.
wastes a lot of time. Because there's like another scene later. We see like the Gargoyles all like wake up from stone like 2 or 3 times this episode.
Yeah,
Like,
they're trying. Like
I feel like
don't
there's a
know
lot of
why.
padding here.
There's so much that's happening this episode, and we're like wasting time
know.
focusing on these little scenes.
Like, because we're introducing like 5 new characters, but like we're not spending time with them. I don't know. It's sort of weird.
Well, you know,
No, I don't.
no one sees the wizard.
We're off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz.
The Wizard of Oz.
So Derek gets out his cool plane, and Elisa's
Yeah.
like, new toy, and he says, one of the perks of working for Mr. Xanatos. And Elisa's
Oh
all
my
like, well, we must do
God.
at dinner Sunday. And he's just like, been busy. Xanatos doesn't believe in employees visiting their family. Because this is what abusers do. They always start like severing their victims' ties to other people. So they'll only
Yeah.
rely on them. So like I feel like Xanatos has been doing this to Derek for a while at this point.
Yeah, he's like grooming him.
Yep. In between dick sucking sessions.
Well, yeah, I mean, naturally.
So Derek just like gets defensive like he probably always does
Wait,
every time Elisa brings
wait.
this up. Yes.
Is Derek technically like Xanatos's like messenger boy right now?
I think he's Xanatos'
Like
pilot and
he takes many
bodyguard?
messages for Mr.
Oh my
Xanatos.
god. Yeah, he probably takes a lot of
That's his
messages for
messenger. He's the
Xanatos.
messenger boy. That's his title
Yeah,
now.
and he carries the message around in his ass until he can. Oh my god. So okay, so Derek gets defensive about, taking so many Xanatos' messages.
Till he can what, Croup? Till he can what?
I'm not going to finish the sentence.
I want you to finish the sentence. I want you to...
Derek says Xanatos isn't the reincarnation of Snidely Whiplash, and even if he is, I can handle him.
Oh my god, who is that?
You don't know? Okay, Snidely Whiplash was a Hanna-Barbera cartoon character.
Oh, I love him then.
He was the guy with like the mustache who we'd always like tug on and be like, "Wahaha."
Oh yeah, that guy's
Like
cool.
he's modeled after the guy who like always tied women to train tracks and like laughed
Oh,
about it.
was he like the bad guy in the Penelope Pit Stop like cartoon?
He was in Wacky Races. He was probably in other
he
stuff
was-
too.
She's also in that, so I'm thinking
Yeah,
that's where
probably.
he comes from.
Yeah, and wait, was there like Dudley Do-Right and he'd fight him or something? Or I'm not thinking of
No, there was
Bullwinkle and
there was
Rocky.
like a bunch of little dudes that like little elf dudes that always save Penelope from.
Sure. Let's go with that.
Listen,
not-
I don't know. It was always late at night when I watched this show, so.
But yeah, so like they sort of just rehash the fight they've had like 50 times already off camera. But then they make up by the end of it. Like they do a Maza sibling thing where she's all like, "Well, okay, but like if you ever need me, just call. I'll always be there to help you." And he goes like, "Cross your heart," and she says, "And hope to die." And they hug it out like, "Aw." Isn't that
Oh
nice?
wow, what a nice sibling moment. I
They're
hope
good
nothing bad
siblings.
happens.
Yeah, I hope nothing horrible happens.
Yeah.
That evening, we see an extremely long sequence of a bunch of statues on top of the clock tower. We just waste a lot of time looking at them not doing anything. There are a bunch of pigeons towing around Goliath, which I thought was very cute. Another nice little New York moment. And then he comes alive and
New
flexes
York
his
minute.
giant muscles for like no reason, and they all freak out and fly away.
Well, I mean, you're a bird. What happens if your like chair starts moving?
Yeah, you freak out and fly away. It's that. Do you just say that I'm a bird, or were you like just asking me to, like put myself in their place?
I think I want to say the second one.
I have played a bird.
I
in
asked
Dungeons
it
and
like it
Dragons.
was the first one, but I did mean the second one when I said it.
Down on the
I don't-
street. We see some random
You're a
guy,
bird.
and he just fucking pelted with like Goliath's stone jizz, basically that just like lands all over him. So like, okay, is this a regular thing that happens then? That their stone fragments just like fall all over the
Yeah.
side? Like,
Is that not clear? That's what they're establishing to us, the viewer.
yeah, but okay, like, wouldn't people start to wonder eventually where all these rocks keep falling from every night?
Dude, I don't know. All I know is, like, if you're on the corner of Midwest and Terrace, don't stand directly under the gargoyles.
No. And like, who cleans all this up? I guess they have a janitor. Maybe Elisa has a clean
There's,
it
like, a
up. That would
road
suck.
janitor
Yeah.
that New York, the city hires. They have
Yeah,
road
yeah.
janitors.
Okay, but that scene doesn't matter either, because we immediately leave those people, and we just started Genutech. Like, I feel like that was just to be like, hey kids, remember, the show is called Gargoyles, and they're in it. But anyway, now on to
Yeah.
other people.
Yeah.
So, okay, Genutech Labs, we're inside this place that we've never been before. We see some orderly get fucking shredded by this shadowy silhouette of some kind with wings, and alarms blaring. More orderlies come. They direct to a strange cat-like, bat-like woman is running. She makes it outside. She gets to the street. She runs away, just making insane noises.
Bitches
The orderlies
just be
all follow her.
running.
They have giant guns now, because I guess this is what we're doing today. And then we see a mysterious, very pale hand holding a cane. I feel like we've seen this cane before, and he sort of taps his finger against it in consternation.
Wow, that's really something, you know? Like
It
that makes you think.
that all happened. Yeah, I wonder who that guy was. I wonder who this mysterious woman is.
Dude, I don't know. All I know is like I don't like her. Whatever, she got away. Oh my god, guys. She got away from the people.
She did get away from the people. So then we
I can't
switched.
believe it.
She did. She's like the only thing that she's done in the episode that I actually like. Cause she was pretty fierce as she left
What?
the building.
Like she does it, but it's like, why did she do it? Because she ends up like relying on them for like help later.
Oh my, yeah, I don't know why she leaves.
God, it's so fucking
Okay,
annoying.
we'll get into that once she starts pulling that shit.
I
Um,
just,
but we switched to Brooklyn and Broadway. They're heading out from the clock tower. They're flying. You know, they're out doing the town. They're on a
yeah,
bro date. It looks like.
yeah,
They spot what appears to be a female winged figure running down an alley down below.
and
So they think it's
Br-
Demona.
Brooklyn thinks this is Demona.
Yeah, so they're like, oh, we should kill her.
He just like goes right in.
Yeah, but it's not Demona. It's Maggie.
It's
As
it's
previously
Maggie,
established, the homeless girl Maggie.
the homeless girl from Ohio is
But
now a cat lady
she's
screaming
yeah,
in the
she's
alley.
also not Maggie anymore. She's been changed. She's undergone
She's
a metamorphosis.
yeah, she's got like she got her hair did, she got a few scratchels done, you know.
She's
She she
they found out what her persona
makeover
was, and they made her into it.
home makeover home improvement furry edition, you know.
I mean, she does look better than she did, but she still doesn't look good.
I don't care. I kind of like I thought she was more interesting as a homeless woman than she is as a cat person.
Yeah, because that it opens a lot of questions you can talk about. But as a cat person, it's
Yeah.
just like, what
It's
what do
like,
we do
okay,
with
okay,
you?
this is my answer now. Like what? Whatever, okay.
So okay, the two of them land and they're like approaching her because they're like, who are you, blah blah blah. But she's freaking out because like from her point of view, like fucking monsters just showed up and are like coming towards her. So Brooklyn's trying to like calm her down, but it's not working because then like 1,000 sirens start going off and a bunch of more orderlies with guns appear in the alley. So they're all like,
Yeah.
more of them. They're like, let's drink them all. The doctor can sort through them. So they start shooting at like everybody.
Yeah.
The Gargoyles, they dive for cover. Broadway's behind a dumpster. Brooklyn does like a sick backflip over to where Maggie is, and he's all like, bad neighborhood, which is like his attempt at a little levity for the situation. And he tries to take her
Yeah.
by the hand to be like, let's get out of here, but she's still panicking, and she's like, let go of me! And, like, she doesn't like
Oh
it.
my god.
Even though he's like the whole time he's just been he's been talking to her nicely. He's like, "Whoa, like I'll help you.
Dude,
What's the
I
matter with you? Like,
you know what it is? It's
What?
like fucking. Okay, oh god, Brooklyn pissed me off this whole episode, starting from this
Yes.
point and onwards, because he's got this whole savior complex to his personality and everything, and that's the only reason he's attracted to Maggie in this episode. It's
Like
just
he
like,
wants to save
my
someone,
God.
and it's Maggie today. Yeah,
it's like, but he's like attracted to her for some
he
reason.
is, but yeah,
Just
yeah,
because
he's like,
she, oh my god, like an actual helpless female, like oh
finally
wow.
someone I can rescue and be like the hero for.
Ugh.
It is really weird. Like they're both at fault throughout this episode. Like I know we're gonna hate on Maggie a lot, but like Brooklyn is also like pretty much a
Brooklyn
dipshit
trying
the
to
whole
actively
time.
pursue Maggie, even though he knows nothing about her. Even
And
though
she keeps buffing him like constantly.
every time he shows up, she's just like fucking.
Yeah, and like
God.
from his point of view, he's probably like, well, she was having a panic attack. Like once she
Those-
knows the real me, I'm sure that she'll like me. But she like is not going to give him that chance because like I don't like he keeps coming on like a
'Cause
little
she's
bit
prejudiced.
too strong each time.
Well, she's prejudiced, is the other
And she's
thing.
also prejudiced because he's a scary
we
monster,
established
and
that-
she doesn't like monsters.
Yeah, well, we established that at the beginning of the episode, and it's ringing true that
Ugh.
she's kind of an asshole.
She is a bad person. But like, I'm trying not to judge her for like what she's doing, like while panicking and having like lots
Well,
of
I
people come
know.
at her at once.
I know, but it's like still.
But yeah, exactly. Like, but still, like Maggie, like look around
And
you.
I guess
Look
it's
at who's
also
being a
because
nice person to you and who's
it's
not, and
also
like,
because like she's the first female character that's been introduced and isn't like awesome.
yeah,
Because
I
it's
think there was an interview once where Greg Weisman had said actually that like they had Elisa and Demona as like two extremely strong female characters. So they actually wanted to introduce another girl who like wasn't strong as a
uh
contrast to them. But I sort of wish he
yeah,
hadn't
but it's
because
like
we don't like Maggie very
there
much.
are ways to portray characters that aren't strong but still have them be somewhat like technically useful or show their skills in other areas. Maggie doesn't show any skill in any other area other than just being an asshole to everyone in her
Yeah, like
vicinity.
she's good at being an asshole, and
I mean, fucking what, the Oracle from DC, like a handicapped woman who, still kicks
oh
ass.
yeah, that girl's awesome.
Yeah, like, come on. And, like, Bentley in Sly Cooper also goes in a wheelchair, and he's still, you play as him, he kicks ass and
Mm-hmm.
everything. It's just like, then you have this girl who's introduced as, like, the not, physically strong female. But not only is she not physically strong, she's very mentally, it just,
She seems like a weak person a lot of the time. And like, if
she
I had to pick
displays
a
herself
word
as a
for her,
weak
maybe,
person, and I think that's why I have such a stigma against her.
yeah. I mean, I
Because,
think she certainly convinced herself that she's a weak person, and she like
I
doesn't
think
allow
it's just
herself.
because, like, I've dated people who are like this.
Mm,
And I just, it's so stressful to deal with.
yeah, I
Okay,
don't
I'm
know.
sorry.
Okay,
I'm sorry. I'm
um,
sorry. Okay, let's keep going.
so as she's pushing him away, she drops like an electric wristband thing that had been around her wrist, and has Jenny Tech
Mm-hmm.
written on it. So that'll be important later. Um, a bunch of orderlies
Mm.
grab her, and then Maggie screams, "Help me!" at Brooklyn. Like, bitch, you just pushed him
Oh my
away. Like,
fucking...
if he wanted to
I
help you,
can't.
why did you just say, "Let go of me," and push it? Like,
You
I
see
just get
why...
mad at her in
You
this
see...
scene.
Do you see why I have such a hard time getting through this episode?
It's like, I just wish she would make up her mind, and she, like, just sort of doesn't.
Ah.
But I guess they trained her, because they just sort of, like, throw her in the van after that, and she's all just, like, laying there, like, unconscious.
No, she fainted
Oh, she
because
fainted.
she's a helpless woman. She
Does she
fainted.
really faint?
I don't know. She probably does. I know Grit faints a few times, but
Like, I was actually
when
confused
he
during that scene,
faints,
because we don't see her get tranked, but I just sort of, like, assumed that must have been
when
what
Griff
happened.
faints, it's hot. When
It is
Maggie
hot,
does it, it's
yeah.
just like whatever.
I wish Goliath would faint a lot more in, like, strong men's arms and have to be rescued and stuff.
Well, Griff did faint in
Griff
Goliath's arm when
faint.
he did.
Did he? Oh, he's so
Yeah.
lucky.
No, that's why I'm bringing it up because he does faint on
Oh my
screen because
god.
he's overwhelmed by the future or
I
whatever.
can't wait till we get to that episode, like 3 years from now.
I know, right?
So, okay, Brooklyn goes into full hero mode when he sees his new girlfriend being, like, packed into a van. He says, "We have to save her." And
Oh my
Broadway's just like,
god.
"If you say so." Like, Broadway is already like, this girl seems more
Oh my
trouble than she's
god.
worth. Like, why are we
Like,
bothering with
honestly.
this? But they,
Yeah, a Brooklyn Savior complex.
yeah, like Broadway is already just like, no, I don't. This is stupid. But they work together. They push the dumpster really hard, and they like it crashes into the van that Maggie's in. Then they start clawing at the outside of it to get her out. But then Brooklyn gets hit by a trank dart. So like he starts like going limp, and Broadway like picks him. Broadway picks up his boyfriend. He's like, "Okay, we're leaving now. Bye." And Brooklyn's all like, "No, got to save
Why?
her."
You are literally, like, drugged right now. What are you doing? Why is this, like, your main priority all of a sudden?
Like
This
I can
woman.
understand. Like he's seeing a woman like being attacked by. Like it
I
is the natural
guess.
urge to like rescue someone
I
who that's
guess.
happening to. But like, yeah.
Yeah. Uh,
Oh, something I did notice as Broadway flies away with Brooklyn like held very romantically in his arms is as the orderlies are all staring up at after them, they're all wearing sunglasses at night. Did you notice that?
Listen, they're hidden
So, yeah,
identities.
it's no wonder they haven't been shooting very well this whole time, although they did get Brooklyn. Anyway, at Castle Wyvern,
Yeah,
we see a helicopter landing, and our boy Owen is there. He's waiting for it. And
yeah.
Mr. Xanatos comes out along with Derek.
Mm-hmm.
So they have a short conversation. I'll just run through it here. Owen's all like, "We just received some fascinating expense reports from Genutech Systems," and Xanatos says in like the most suspicious way possible, "Yes, their R&D team is working on something special for me." And Owen's like, it's like he tried to be as suspicious as possible because he knows that
It's
Derek
like
is right there.
like he just like winks at the audience.
And Owen says something involving armed mercenaries. Not to my
I
knowledge.
want. Oh my god! I need an icon of just Xanatos winking at me.
I would
I would
love
love
that.
that. Okay, but anyways, continue.
So Xanto says, perhaps it's time to pay Dr. Savarius a visit. And then Derek, who is right there, is like, mercenaries? Maybe I'll come along. I'm sure it won't be necessary, Derek. It's what you pay me for. Might as well get your money's worth. And then Xantos also gets his turn to look extremely evil, and he says, might as well. And we're like,
My
okay, like, this is an
God.
episode of villains like smirking at the camera and being like, look at us and how evil we are. We're puppet masters.
I want to like screenshot like the scene of like Xanatos looking at me, and I want to put like an impact font like I know what sex is, and I
Oh my
won't tell
god.
you.
I don't know if he does know what sex is at this point. No.
To him, sex is like making like a weird like clone love child of your archenemy.
I don't know
That's
if
how
he's
big.
done that yet. Wait. By this point in the show, like that project probably had been begun by now. Yeah.
It's beginning. Yeah, like there's something happening.
To him, sex is like having Goliath like tied up beneath him, sort of writhing, and like Xanatos is standing on his chest with one foot and like jerking off onto his face. That's probably what he thinks sex is. That's probably what I
You
think sex
ask him what
is.
it is, and you read his mind. That's what you see.
Yeah. I did like in this scene like how easily Xanatos like convinced Derek to go with him by, pretending that he didn't want Derek to go with him. Like, does that make sense? Like, he just like very easily
Yeah,
manipulated him
yeah. I mean,
and made him
I've
think it was his
seen
own
it
idea.
happen many times, and I'll see it many more times in the future. Not just in cartoons, but like there are people like this I've seen that just get like convinced to do things when you tell them not to do it.
Yeah.
Like
Back at the clock tower.
coworkers.
Oh, this is the worst.
Mm-hmm.
Of Broadway and Brooklyn, they're filling in the others on what had happened, and Brooklyn's all like, she was so frightened, and Broadway's just like, yeah, of us. And Brooklyn's like, she needed our help. We talked about the same person. From where I sat, she didn't want any of our help. She wanted mine. And then Broadway's like,
Oh
okay,
my
whatever.
god. Oh my
Loverboy took this
god.
off her wrist, and he shows them all the Genutech.
No,
Actually,
but
wait. I'm sorry.
Woody.
You're right. I was talking about that scene all wrong. How did he
Okay.
reach for the bracelet, Sid?
Okay, so Broadway's like Loverboy took this off her, and then like he reaches into his loincloth.
Like straight down into
Like
it.
just like really griming his fingers up in there, into the loincloth.
Like very far, like deep down.
Why does Brooklyn look like he's smirking in that frame too? He's supposed to be pissed off.
He's like, oh, my boyfriend's grabbing his junk again, right in front of the whole clan. Like Broadway like squeezes his own balls. He takes the bracelet
Takes the
off of where he'd been
collar
using them as a
out.
cock ring, and
And
he
they
shows it to
ask
everybody.
Broadway, why is this still so warm? Okay,
Oh my
but
god.
anyways.
Well, I know I'm gonna have to diff that scene again later. But Elisa, she recognizes what it is. She's like, a tracking device. Digital, long range, expensive. And also they see like Genutech written on it in like giant letters. So like, gee,
Wow,
I wonder
wow,
where this came.
wow,
Excellent detective
wow,
work from her
wow.
of where it came from.
Fucking, I can't with this episode. Okay, let's keep going.
It's the following day. We're at Genutech. Xanatos and Derek have showed up, and they're talking to Dr. Anton Savarius, who is the man we've seen taking Maggie off the street. And
he's a wild-looking man without his trench coat and hat.
It's crazy.
Like, if you saw this guy on the street, you would be like, yeah, that's a mad scientist.
He looks like he has, like, the white sideburn streak things in his hair.
And
he
his
talks
hair
like
is
a
all
crazy
frizzy,
person.
and he talks, because he's Tim Curry.
He's Tim Curry.
Tim Curry, you know, he's good at talking crazy.
Yeah, so Xanatos is like, so, what have you been up to over here, you freaky freak of a man? And Savarius
Exactly
has, like, a
like
PowerPoint presentation all set. So, I'm just gonna go through this whole conversation, because it's pretty good. He says, you asked me to genetically design a living creature based on a gargoyle. And
he shows the pictures of the gargoyles,
yes.
and Derek acts all surprised for some reason. Like,
does.
What? You know who these are? You know what these are? What do you?
I think it's more he's surprised that Xanatos is like trying to make something based on the gargoyles. Like he didn't know about that.
Oh, well, it's just weird. I don't know, because like he's so stupid either way. Like, of course he's gonna be doing something with these creatures.
Yeah, but like Xanatos watches him be surprised. Like Xanatos is giving this information to Derek like on purpose, because this is his continuing plot to like keep, like he's controlling what information Derek has and when to make him do what he wants him to do.
So classic Xanatos.
Yeah, classic Xanatos. So Savarius is all like, I considered cloning a living specimen, but none were available, or has that changed? And Xanatos just says, no, it has not. Which sounds like an old argument they've had before, probably. So Savarius says, so I turned to gene splicing to breed for desired traits. The composite genotypes would give our creation the strength, speed, and agility of a jungle cat, plus a bat's ability to fly. And human intelligence? Yes, of course. But the problem is the energy needs of the wing muscles. The creature would need to eat the equivalent of 3 cows a day to maintain its strength. So how do the gargoyles do it? Not too many cows in Manhattan. I surmise they stored solar energy while hibernating as stone every day. Unfortunately, that process is unknown to the rest of the animal kingdom. But there is another way to meet the energy needs. Electrophorus electricus, the electric eel. These fish store energy in specialized organs called electroreceptors. Adapting this might solve our problem. So, like, this is all
that whole thing down.
Okay, I didn't write it down. I just copy-pasted from the script page. Okay, I'm not that crazy.
Yeah, I can tell. No, I can tell. It felt like we were doing some Gargoyle script reading right there.
I would love to do a script reading one day.
I think that's what you just did. I think you just did that today. Today's the day. Okay, but yeah, wow. Okay, so yeah.
But like during that, he had like an insane PowerPoint that like kept changing as he like went from topic to topic.
See, like, this is one of those, like, plot element scenes that I just kind of, like, space out on.
Okay, but it's so good, because it's so crazy.
Like, it's so...
They want to make a gargoyle, so they decided, okay, we can't make a gargoyle, but what if we made, like, a cat, bat, eel combo? Like, let's do that instead.
It's so
because that's easier for us.
Oh my god.
I think it's really for that Derek is also here. Like, it's his job to, like, get them back on track. Because he's all like, yeah, well, this is a pretty impressive theory. But the big question is, why did you hire mercenaries? Like, that's the reason that they actually came here today. So Savarius, like, clears his throat very, like, distinctly. And he glances at Xanatos, like, oh, right. I forgot the actual point of this meeting was that we're messing around with this guy today. So, okay. So he explains one of their test subjects had escaped, and Xanatos says, test subjects? Like he didn't know that there were test subjects.
What? Oh my god,
This is a shock to him, and Savarius says, it's no big deal, just they got her back. And then he pushes a button that raises a screen up, and there's a whole display case full of buff mostly
Buff,
naked
furry men.
furry men.
Two very buff, mostly naked furry men.
They're just
One
wearing
of them,
like a little like okay, it's Fang and Claw, who are two of our favorite boys.
the best part of
Fang
the
is a
episode.
cougar and Claw is a tiger man.
Oh
And
my god.
they're both really muscular and they're both like just sort of growling
They're
as the
just
screen
pressing
goes up.
themselves against the glass in seductive form.
Yeah. Yeah. And they're both okay. They're both dressed very simply. Like Claw is only wearing a very tiny speedo, and Fang looks like he started out wearing a speedo maybe, but like now it's been like all ripped up. So it's just like hanging around his
From all
hips.
the sex they've been having.
Yeah,
in
like I
that
can only
glass
assume
wall.
that Claw has like
Like, they're in
fucked
a
him
glass
too roughly
wall.
one day.
They're in a glass wall. Like,
Yeah,
what are they
so
gonna do?
Savarius
There's
is
a weird,
watching them
There's a
while they
weird
have
wall
sex.
between those two. They have their own little space, and then Maggie's off to the right, cowering in the corner, and there's a wall between them.
Yeah, well,
What's
you know,
going on the other side of this wall with these two?
bunch
Why do
of
they have
gay
their own
sex.
space together?
Because they're boyfriends.
Okay,
They wanted
okay,
some
but what you were saying
privacy.
earlier. 30% of homeless are LGBT. We have two gay homeless dudes
That's
that
very
return to
true.
furries.
Yes, because Fang and Claw are two other homeless people who were picked up off the
Yes.
streets.
Exactly.
I believe that's been revealed, like, after the show ended. I think Greg Weisman
Yes.
told us that.
Yes.
So, yeah, that does make sense. Yeah. Nothing further to add there. But Savarius has definitely been watching them have sex a lot with their new big hulking cat bodies, which, like, yeah, I'm sure. So they're both roaring.
Of
They're looking
course.
sexy. Maggie's there too. She's
Maggie
huddled in the corner of
just
her
sucks.
container, like looking sad.
Wow. What a loser.
Oh yeah, she should be roaring and looking sexy as well.
I mean, I would.
Xanatos asks how Savarius was able to grow, these creatures so quickly, and Anton says, "Well, he used a
And
short
grow them like they're sea monkeys.
Well, I'm
They
pretty
start
sure
out
that
little
is the
sea
wording
monkey
he
eggs.
uses. Yeah.
I know. It's just funny to me.
Savarius says he used a shortcut. He started with humans and, injected them with gene treatments.
No,
and
it's the
such.
craziest thing, you guys. I just found these dudes on the street. They're like, "Hey, come on, guys! I have something to show you." They just came right in. The
They
idiots.
probably did. They're like, oh, some more dick to suck. Our favorite treat.
Because of the prostitution thing. Obviously, he used his pimp cane to woo them in. Like, how would you
Yeah.
boys like to start making money for me? And I believe before he was mutated, all we know about Thane, I think he was like a petty thief or something. And his real name is like Fred.
Fred Sykes.
Fred Sykes. And
I don't know why I remember that.
I think what Remy has told me about Claw is that Claw, while it may not seem so now, is actually significantly, like, I think like a good, 10 years older than Fane.
Yeah, I think Claw's in his 40s, I think. And
Yeah,
Fang
he's in
is,
his 40s.
Like, I don't know, late 20s,
In his
early
30s.
30s, something. Yeah.
Late 20s, early 30s, yeah. There's definitely, this is just some...
So there's a hot
some-
age difference between them two.
There is a hot age difference, yes.
And I'm pretty
yes.
sure Claw's the bottom in their relationship.
Oh, yeah.
Although
he's
not
the power.
always, because we saw
power
the
bottom.
Fine's Speedo.
Yeah, well, oh, yeah, no, he tore into that. He really needed...
Like, 1 in
You know,
10 times,
I just feel like it would make
animal
sense.
nature is unleashed, and he just fucks Fang, into the ground. So,
I think that's exactly what happened. I wouldn't be surprised if the glass wall just showed up and they were just in the middle of fucking right there.
oh my god, we need
display.
an edit of this scene where the wall rises and it's just them. And they both looking surprised and just Fang is just balls deep in Claw, and they're just
They're like, "How'd you grow these so quick? They're already breeding. They're already grown. Oh my god, they're homosexual." What the fuck, dude?
Okay, so Xanatos says what? Because, the idea of experimenting on humans is obviously appalling to him. And Derek is furious too. He's all like, is this what your money's been funding, Xanatos? And Xantos is like,
Even
Derek, I
for
swear I
the
had
gay
no idea.
furry porn.
Yes,
in
gay
my
furry
industry.
porn. Is that why?
I did not agree to this. This gay furry porn. I'm never associated with that, Savarius. You know me.
Never, ever, ever.
Never. Totally straight.
Okay, back to the serious scene that's happening in the episode.
Okay, yeah.
So
no, I
Xantos
guess.
tells Derek he had no idea that, that Savarius was taking humans and turning them into weird animal people. But then he says, no,
And the furry.
that's not true. I was fooling
I'm sorry.
myself. I knew Savarius has a bad reputation. I wanted results
I
so
was
badly I
fooling
ignored it.
myself.
But don't worry, we'll make it right. We'll find a
I'm
way
the
to
good
reverse
guy.
the mutations. Yeah, he's all like, I'm the good one here. I would never do something bad. No, look at me, Derek. I'm your good boss. I give you so much money and all my dick whenever you want it, which is like pretty much every day you're on the clock.
Dude, Tim Curry is just like he's on the black market for gay furry porn in the Gargoyles universe. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I don't know why. He just is. He's got his cane and everything.
So Savarius says, "No, I won't let you destroy my work." And he pulls a fucking gun out. So he shoots at Xantos. Because Xantos just said he's gonna reverse the mutations, which no. Savarius has made hot furries, and they're gonna stay hot furries forever.
Yeah.
Derek leaps in front. He takes a shot for Xantos, which is a trank dart, which goes like right in his butt. Then he tackles Savarius over a table. They're fighting. Like, he's kind of badass here because he pretty much easily.
Well, he was in the
subdues-
police. He was a cop.
Yeah, like he can do this. He's good at this.
He's a helicopter pilot, like football athlete, dude. He's always wearing a Letterman jacket for some reason.
Oh god, he probably did. After he pulls the dart out of his ass, he's like, "Funny, I don't feel sleepy." But then Savarius starts laughing because he knows that very soon Derek's going to be another hot cat man.
Derek's gonna be a furry. Oh no!
He got him with the furry gun.
The furry guy. I'm so, like, I think it's so funny that Savarius invented a gun that can shoot furry genetic mutations into you and turn
God.
you into a furry.
There's a lot. There's a lot in this. There's so much.
I just... What the fuck is going on? When I watched this whole sequence, like, again for the first time, my brain just, like, blanked out. My first thought was, like, man, I need, like a mountain of, like, alcohol to, like, process this.
I feel like that's what Derek needs right now, too. Because he's a normie.
I like how he
He's a
turns around
normie.
and looks right at the camera in horror when he realizes
there's a lot
this.
of that in this episode, but...
It's like that face you make when you realize you're gonna be a Speedo-clad furry having
he
gay
has no
sex in a glass
choice.
wall.
Not me, too.
You know what should have happened? What should have happened?
It was just
as
one
soon as-
time in college. I swear I'd never have butt sex again. With strangers.
Yeah, what should have happened? Savarius should have like opened up like the wall panel, and like it should have just been like it would have been like purple lighting, and like just it's like a disco club, and there's like
Oh my
all these
God.
like mutant furry strippers that like descend from the ceiling.
He probably has that in his other
He probably
lab.
has that. Yeah. Okay. I'm like delaying this. We need to get through the bad parts. We can't stay in the good parts for
Isn't
forever.
the whole episode is the bad part for you?
Yeah, like this is the only good part when we see like
my
my two
God.
favorite boys.
Yeah, they're
Behind a
okay.
glass
They were
wall.
good there. Okay, there's a commercial
Yeah.
break. When we come back, Xantos and Derek are like basically threatening Savarius and turning everyone back to normal. But Savarius refuses because he fully believes in turning people into hot furries and not turning them back. He also says the antidote is only in his own brain because he never wrote it down because he doesn't want it out anywhere. Then they did
What
a
the
call.
fuck is this situation?
It's a
Like,
weird
how do you-
situation. I've
how do
never
you
been in this
get-
situation myself, but I imagine it's
I
pretty
imagine
stressful.
it's pretty stressful. Honestly, I mean, That's all you can think. It's pretty stressful.
It's pretty stressful.
And his sister's right outside the building too now, which
Yeah, they
makes the
get a
whole thing even
call that the
worse.
police are there, and it's Elisa and Matt. Matt thankfully has no fucking lines in this episode.
Matt just stares at the camera.
Yeah, he just stares blankly at things. So Xanatos threatens to, like, show the police, like, everything that Savarius has been working on. And Savarius is like, you wouldn't dare. You bankrolled everything. You're right. We'll both go down for this. I've been in prison before. Have you? The police, the press, the public.
I can tell.
And if
you
they
can
don't,
tell.
I will.
You can tell Xanatos and Savarius have like rehearsed this.
They
several times.
have.
And like Xanatos is like, Ray, I really want to sound like a badass when I say this.
He's such a good person this whole episode, and like I laugh. He's so good at it. It's
Yeah,
also
I
funny that
know,
like he's
right?
aware of persecution because like he knows that the public finds out that Savarius made furries, that they won't like that.
Yeah, like what? He's making furries.
We
Furry
can't
porn?
have that. No,
We can't have furry porn in New York.
This was
say?
the early '90s. So they make a deal that Savarius will work on a cure in exchange for like getting rid of the cops. Meanwhile, Derek's in the corner, like
Blowjobs.
already looking fucked up. Like he's sweating. He's like shivering. He's like clutching
like-
himself. Xanatos offers to
Yeah.
bring Elisa up to see him, but Derek's like, no, I can't let her see me this way. So it's like, I don't know if this is like a gay metaphor or I don't know what this is. He doesn't want his family to see him. He's ashamed of himself now. He had anal sex. It's changed him. He's weird.
Yeah. Well, you know, just fucking get over it, Derek. Just fucking get over it. You're turning into a cap, dude. Okay,
He
it
is.
happens. Get over it.
Later, at the clock tower, Elisa's back. She's been turned away at the door, I guess, by Savarius, and she's saying that they need evidence to arrest Savarius. Without it, her hands are tied. And he said, Brooklyn says, "Well, mine aren't," which is probably the first time in his life he's ever said that, and it's been true. But then they all turn to stone, so it doesn't really matter.
It's fucking like just throw Derek like a fucking ball of yarn.
Yeah,
All
oh
the
my god,
day.
he'd be playing for hours.
Just be ready to induct yourself into the feline world.
Oh my god, okay,
One
wait.
of us.
Do you think the mutates are susceptible to catnip?
Oh my god.
Okay,
Oh my
okay,
God.
what if someone put catnip, like, up Claw's ass, and then Fang was, like, all face
I know it's in there.
deep in the...
I know it's in there. And then like Claw's just giving these like silent expressions.
Yes.
Like yeah, I'm getting my ass eat right now. Because the catnip's in my ass.
It's in his ass.
It's in his ass.
Okay.
See, okay.
That
what
day...
If you did, what if?
We see Savarius working in his lab. Xanatos is literally standing, like, right over his shoulder, like, apparently the whole time. It's really funny. Derek's in a corner, moaning. He's, like, turning to a cat man.
Oh, I'm gay.
Yeah, pretty much. And then Savarius says that it might be safer to cage him. And Xanatos is like, he's a man, not an animal.
He's
like-
manimal.
He's a manimal. He's an
Animal. Oh! I love Animorphs.
Xanatos is we said it before. He's doing a really good job of pretending to be a good person this episode, but like the
Yeah.
truth is obviously that he doesn't see a difference
Okay.
between humans and animals. That
So far, I
everything's
like
just a tool for him.
all the scenes with Xanatos we're talking about so far because it like takes my mind off of that other bullshit.
Oh yeah, he always brings it. He always brings it
Yeah.
home.
He does.
Let's see. It's nighttime again. We go through like a whole fucking week in this episode. It feels like we keep going from night to
Like-
day and back again.
Yeah.
There's
okay.
another really long Gargoyles waking up scene.
Oh my god.
We tolerate them only for the flexing content. Brooklyn does look really good while he flexes in this part. I will say that.
Well,
he looks
yeah.
like bigger than he usually does and muscly.
Yeah, it's the flex of a newly found simp.
Yeah, I guess it made him bigger?
He's horny, I guess, because he found a woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Finally, like a non-psychotic woman. Like I do understand his position, Just
A
before Demona,
non-psychotic.
there was only Demona. But, like, now, hey, he has an alternative, and maybe she's not crazy.
She is, though.
Yeah, she is, though.
I mean, she's not just, like, crazy in, like, evil way. She's crazy in an annoying way, which is, like, significantly less hot.
So,
Because
immediately on waking up, Brooklyn's gonna go rushing off to save his girlfriend. But Goliath's like, whoa there, buckaroo. Rushing off without a plan won't help her. And Brooklyn's all, he's about to tell, like, Goliath, like, just to shove it up his ass with his plans and
Well,
bullshit.
doesn't he say at one point in the scene, he's like, you guys don't even know her, and they're like, neither do you.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Broadway is like, neither do you, you fucking dumbass.
Oh my god, I think Goliath said that, actually. Someone said
someone
that. Someone
said it.
more reasonable said that.
Uh-huh. But yeah, Goliath, he's just like, I do have a plan, though, to help her. And then Brooklyn makes, like, a surprise Pikachu face. He was like, oh, I forgot that, like, people can make plans.
Oh my
And,
god, I
like,
forgot I'm
not
part
be
of a
awful.
team!
Yeah.
I forgot I'm part of a team, and I don't just do things all headstrong and hot-headed like...
Uh-huh.
Why? He was smart last episode, why does he have to be dumb this one?
I don't know. So we go back to Genutech once again. It's Goliath, Brooklyn, and Lexington. They land on top of the building. They're about to go into the skylight, but Lexington sees, like, it's wired, so it's probably alarmed. So then they just, like, rip a giant hole in the roof instead and go in through that.
Yeah,
They land
as
in,
one
like,
does.
a computer room. Lexington, like, goes off one. He starts doing his, like, elite hacking skills. Brooklyn's a stupid little dipshit here. He's all like, stop messing around. And Lexington's like, dude, I'm doing this to save your girlfriend. Like, do you mind
It's
right
not-
now?
Like, he's trying to be nice, and, like, Brooklyn's just being a bitch, and it gets him screwed.
Yeah, like, this episode
But
does a good
anyways.
job of making Brooklyn act like an idiot. Like, but, like, it is, like, believable to me that he's being like this, but, like, he really is annoying this whole episode. Like, he's short-tempered.
Yeah.
He doesn't listen to
I mean-
anyone, including Maggie herself. Like, he never has
Yeah.
any plan.
It's a savior complex.
Yeah.
Because he wants to be the hero guy.
And he's basically a mess. And, like, ironically, that's another reason I don't like Maggie, too. Like, because she has this effect on Brooklyn. So whenever she shows up, I'm just like, oh, well, Brooklyn's gonna be an idiot this episode.
Yeah, it's literally... Ugh.
So, like, that's that's not, like, necessarily her fault, but, like, just me as a viewer, I'm like,
I just know her presence.
does she need to be here?
I don't think Maggie's meant to be likable. Or maybe, I don't know.
Like, I've tried as hard as I can to like her, and I still don't. So, like,
I can't
I'll-
sympathize with her. I mean, like, you know, I feel bad for her that she was homeless and she turned into a mutant, but I can sympathize better with Claw, who never speaks any words at all. Or
Claw
even
is a
Fang, who-
beautiful boy. Claw is
He
perfect.
is.
We have
we
no
all love
qualms
Claw's
with
the
Claw.
fan favorite. Why can't you be more like Claw?
Be
like,
more
why do you
like
have to be
Claw.
so annoying about everything in your life?
Uh-huh.
No-
Okay, we're
no
not
wonder
even
you
to-
left
Okay,
Ohio.
we're about to be at a point where she is very annoying.
Okay,
So let's go there. Okay.
But I just can't. I can't with her.
So they go to where Maggie is in her cell. I don't know where Fang and Claw are anymore because their cell is just gone. There's only her cell in this room all of a sudden. But this this girl, as soon as she sees Brooklyn coming towards, like, where she is, she says, "Stay away!" And then she presses, like, the intercom button that I guess is installed in her cell, and she just screams, "Somebody help me!"
Oh my god!
Like,
Ugh!
why?
Ugh! Nails on a chalkboard, cringe. Oh my god!
Because Brooklyn up until, like, up until this
And
point...
like Lexi didn't even makes his face. He's like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
Yeah,
right
he's
now?"
like, why did you do that? And also, like, why are we here to rescue you then? If, like...
Whatever, just stay the fuck inside your weird little cat
Like,
cage. I don't care.
I just don't know why she's
Leave her
acting
there.
this way. Because, like,
Leave
the
her
only...
there.
All she's seen of Brooklyn is, like, he
'Cause,
was
oh, no,
very
scary
plainly,
monster.
he was trying to help her at that point. But, like,
Scary monster. Oh no.
yeah, I guess that's
me
the only
prejudice.
reason. I don't know. Like, but
Me
it's
no
really
have no
bad.
character. Me from Ohio. That's my Maggie impression. How do you like it?
I'm Maggie. I'm from Ohio.
I'm Maggie. I'm from Ohio, and I complain about things.
I'm not like the other homeless.
I'm not like the others. Oh my god. How could you even compare me to them?
This is just temporary.
It's just a temporary setback. Oh my god.
Okay.
Okay.
An alarm starts going off. Goliath gets super pissed because he's just like, why the fuck are we doing this? But he grabs like a table, he destroys the glass that's like separating them from Maggie. A bunch of like soldier guys come in. One of them immediately shoots Maggie with a tranquilizer dart. Like, she spent most of this episode unconscious already. But Brooklyn,
it's the only way they can fucking take her is when she's fucking sedated.
Yeah. So like Brooklyn picks her up. Another of the guys like throws a gas canister at them, which goes off, so they have to like get out of the room. And then we go to Savarius' lab, where he's just finished making Derek the antidote. And, like, he's gonna inject it into Derek, and everything's gonna be fine, and Derek's life will go back to being perfect. Yeah, it's gonna be
okay. You don't have to be a furry and wear speedos.
Yes, he doesn't have to be a hot furry. Like, it's fine. But then, like, the gargoyles burst in just as he's about to do this, and then there's chaos, there's confusion.
Door open and then chaos happens.
There's cats and dogs living together. Goliath sees Xanatos. He's like, so it was you behind this. And Xanatos is like, okay, check, please. A bunch of guards chase them in. There's fighting. There's brutality. At some point, the antidote gets knocked out of Savarius' hand, and Derek dives for it, but then it smashes on the floor, and he just starts, like, crying over it.
Dude, it's the funniest fucking thing. I'm sorry. I don't know why I laughed.
Like,
I felt fucked up.
Okay, I'm over here like, dude, you're a cat now. Just lick it up off the floor. Like, it's not like it's gone. Like, it's just on the floor. Like, gather it back together and, like, eat some of it.
Just sift through the broken glass.
Yeah,
it's
like,
okay,
but yeah, like, if
Derek.
this is his only cure and he's freaking out this bad, I'm just like, you can still get it, though. Maybe that's what I would have done if I were in that situation.
I don't know. Derek's always been kind of a whiny bitch. This is just more stuff for him to whine about.
He sort of has been. Okay, Goliath eventually is like, okay, like, we're leaving now, because this is all stupid. So, he rips a big hole in the ceiling, he makes everyone go through it, like, Brooklyn goes with Maddie, Lexington goes. Just as Goliath is going, Savarius, like, jumps onto him, and he's like, no, that's my creation! And then Goliath's just, like, annoyed and, like, kicks him off. But then Savarius slams into this case holding the electric eels that was in his lab. It shatters, glass and water goes everywhere, the eels fall out, and then, like, they electrocute Savarius to death.
Oh my god.
Like,
now that's what I call a fried doctor special. But,
what?
yeah. Yeah.
Is that a name of a meal?
No, it was just a stupid it was a stupid dad joke. Okay, let's move on.
But yeah, like we have our first on-screen death of the show, which if you are familiar with broadcast standards and practices, might tip you off that it's not really a death.
Yeah, it's not. It's fake. It doesn't count.
Well, no, but Xanatos runs over and he checks for a pulse and doesn't find one. And he announces that Savarius is dead. So it definitely did happen. Because Xanatos would never lie to us.
Yeah, I can't believe that.
It's true.
That nice little scientist man with the pimp cane is dead.
Yes. There's a dramatic commercial break. When we come back, Derek's freaking out because that was his only chance for a cure. Like, the only cure was in Savarius' head, and now he's dead. And he didn't lick up the cure fast enough from the floor, so that's gone now too. He's gonna be a hot cat man forever, and it's the Gargoyles' fault for ruining his life. It's not his own fault. And it's definitely not Xanatos' fault.
It's just like,
it's the Gargoyles.
I just get the fuck over it. I know, a physically traumatic event, whatever. Oh my god, like how dense do you have to fucking be?
He sort of does like the Demona thing here, where like he's so eager to blame someone else for
but the difference between him and Demona is that Demona is not some fucking crybaby.
Yeah. She makes other people cry.
Demona never complains about shit. I mean, when she does, she's trying to be sensible and like authoritarian about it at least. Like she's trying to come from a sense of like a level-headed control, even though she's clearly crazy. Like Derek is just fucking annoying and whiny.
He does a lot of whining. So, okay, so not to spoil things too much, but like we know this whole episode is themed by Xanatos, got a team
Yeah.
of like naked gay furries to work for him, and who ate the
Yeah.
Gargoyles.
Yeah.
How did Xanatos predict the Gargoyles would attack the building just at that moment and like time it exactly? So like as Tavares was gonna give Derek the cure, that's when the Gargoyles would burst in. Like how did why did his plan work?
All according
Exactly.
to plan.
Like, but
all according to plan.
like, did he have a
All
backup
according
plan
to
if like the
plan.
Gargoyles didn't show up? Like,
All according.
would they
to
have given
plan.
Derek a cure and then like have it not work, or like was it really the cure and like would they have just turned Derek back to normal? Like, what was their backup plan?
I think they just really relied on Maggie's stupidity for this one. I don't know.
Like, yeah, like why would they expect Maggie to act like that's a total idiot?
I mean, technically, everything is Maggie's fault if you think about it.
Yeah,
Because
I
she
mean,
fucking
a lot
hit
of
the
things
alarm.
are. Speaking of Maggie, okay, we go back to the clock
God.
tower, and Maggie's waking up.
God, she looks like shit.
Well, I mean,
Get
she's
outta
been through
here.
a lot. Bronx
Get her
is the
outta
first
here.
thing she sees, so like, of course, she freaks out at that. She scurries away. Then Brooklyn's right there too. In fact, all of them are right there. Like the whole clan
Wow,
is there,
oh my
all
God.
like staring at
I
her.
can't believe it.
And so she's like not doing well with panic attacks, like once again. Actually, one of my favorite moments happens when she's backing up and she says, "Were you human once too?" And then Goliath leans in and just says, "No," in this like vaguely menacing way. And like I
my
fucking
God.
love it. He's just
I
like,
love it. Like, he's not giving her an easy time. Like, no, we were not human once, and you're gonna have to deal with that.
Then Matthew says, "Well, I'm human. I'm not like
Oh my
this."
fucking God.
And it's the same thing she did with the homeless people, and she was like, "I'm not like them." Now she's doing, "I'm not like this. I'm not a
Just
monster."
fucking just knock her out again.
Sort of.
Like, she was...
Like she's
She's
so
more
quick to judge
toler-
other people, and then she's like terrified
She's
that like,
a-
she
it's
might
'cause
be
she's a
like
terrible
those other
person.
people. Sorry, what? I cut you off.
She's a terrible person, is all I'm
Oh
saying.
my god, yeah, she's pretty bad.
I mean, like, I forgot how racist she was, honestly, just
yeah.
going back into this.
and I feel
I'm like,
like,
oh wow, I have more reasons to hate her.
like I feel like in her mind she thinks that like, well, like bad things only happen to bad people, and because I'm not a bad person, like this shouldn't be happening to me. Like it hasn't.
Oh my God,
It hasn't like
it's exactly
eats
like
into
one of
her
those people.
worldview that like no, like bad things can happen to anyone, and that's why we
Oh
have to
my
like
God.
take care of each other. Like she's not like at that place yet.
That's why she's homeless, probably.
Probably.
Not to judge anyone for going homeless.
No.
Yeah, okay. Take a couple steps back. Okay, so, yeah, so she's
Okay.
up in the tower.
Well, so she gets her introduction. I think this is the first time we actually get her name. She says, "My name is Maggie Reed. I'm from Ohio." Like,
Oh my God.
Thanks
I
for
don't
filling.
care.
That's all the backstory we'll ever
She's
get from
from
her.
Ohio. That's
Um,
so interesting. I'm
they try-
sure, like, Claw and Fane have, like, much more interesting backstories that we're not gonna get right now. But,
Yeah.
we have Maggie here.
I feel like
from
Fang and
Ohio.
Claw were like in several Central American wars, and they were war buddies. and
Jesus Christ.
Oh my god! Imagine if they knew Dingo and like they all used to sleep
Oh
together.
my God.
Wouldn't that be amazing?
Dingo and Wolf.
Yeah.
Like, they just have, like, a four-way date.
Oh my god.
And Wolf and Fane really hit it off, and Dingo and Claw have, like, a riveting game of chess they end up playing together. But
Yeah.
Fane and Wolf would probably be fucking by the time the night's over because it's like, come
Yeah,
on.
well, Wolf would have to assert his dominance over Fang and just like take his ass.
And Fang would like he's being the brat he is. He would be all for that.
Yeah,
Like
well, I mean,
they're
he's being
they're very
bratty, so like
similar.
he's putting up like token resistance, but then like he
They're
definitely gives in by the
they're
end.
very similar. It's which like they're both like idiots. They're both assholes, and they both like being furries over human.
Yeah, they have a lot in common, really.
They've never like met on the show or anything.
They don't ever.
No,
Oh, that's
no.
too bad. They should.
Yeah,
They've met in our fan fictions.
yeah, they Oh yeah, they have. Oh my god.
Okay, the Gargoyles are trying to calm Maggie down by saying, that she'll be safe with them. But she like doesn't think that's true, and like in this case, like I sort of understand where she's coming from. Like she doesn't
I get-
want to be safe with a bunch of weird monster people who like she doesn't know.
How
She
do you
wants a
understand where
cure. Like
she's
she wants
coming
to
from?
be like cause she's suffering from like body dysmorphia. Like this, the body she's in
Okay,
now, she doesn't
well-
see it as her body. Like she wants to go back to how she used to be. So like,
Yeah,
I can sort of
well,
understand where she's coming
I get
from.
the trauma part of it. I really do. But
You know.
acting like an asshole because of it.
Yeah,
is
well,
just, like-
she explicitly says, "I'm not a monster," and then
doesn't-
Brooklyn has to be like, "We're not monsters either," which is like such a sad line that he has to like explain that to her.
She did.
He reaches for her, like she flinches away at his touch because like he's still scary to her. And then Goliath is like, okay, well,
God.
the dawn is like about to be here, so
Goliath's like, I've had it up to here with this bitch.
Yeah.
I'm going to sleep.
he says,
all
Maggie,
going
like
to sleep."
we'll find you your cure tomorrow night. Like he does at least give her that much, and then they all go out. They take their places. Maggie watches them all turn to stone, and I'm pretty sure she just immediately she's like, okay, well I'm going to go back to that lab now because fuck
God.
this place. Which like, okay, like Maggie makes a lot of stupid decisions here, but like in this case, I'm sort of if I put myself in her shoes, I can sort of understand why she would do
Yes,
that.
with dashes.
Because like,
Okay, continue. Continue.
because Xanatos has said that he is like working on a cure for all of them, and I believe he has promised all of them like he'll help them all out. And like she knows that he's the rich man, he has all the money. So like, why would she stay with the Gargoyles who
I don't care
she doesn't
at this
know
point.
when like
I don't
like,
don't care.
with the information we have? We're like, no, Maggie, you fucking idiot. But like, I sort of get why she's doing what she's doing because she's afraid, she wants to be safe, and like that's where all the other mutates are too. Like,
I just don't think. I don't know. I just don't like any decisions she makes. And I get that she makes a lot of stupid decisions. And I get she's traumatized. But, like, I just don't. I mean, like, ugh.
Like
I
it's
don't-
bad because she does she is I don't even my words aren't working right now. Like I went as far as I could to defend her and like I don't want to anymore because I don't like her either. But like
Okay,
I'm just trying to
okay.
like explain as best
No,
I
I
can,
get
like,
it, I
why
get
she's
it, and
doing
you're
what she's
probably
doing.
right. You're probably right. That doesn't mean I have to. Just because I understand her does not mean I have to like her.
Exactly, yeah.
Like, I understand her, and I don't like from what I understand.
Okay, so then there's a really quick scene the next day. Elisa and Matt are at Genutech, and like they pick up a piece of paper that's like on the floor, and it says that Xanatos owned the building. So like, aha, we
Oh,
know this
wow.
now. Which is like, yeah, we've known that
Oh
for a
my
while,
God.
Elisa. Like they're so behind this entire episode. I sort of feel
That I
bad
think
for them.
that's like. I think that's like what Fox meant when she said that Xanatos is always 3 steps ahead.
Like in this case, like yeah, like you guys, like you know nothing yet. We go to the next night. The Gargoyles all wake up, flexing hotly. Maggie's not there anymore. Big surprise. Brooklyn's like the only one surprised by that. And let's see. Blah 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 blah. He's all distraught. Goliath is okay. Goliath says that Hudson and Franz should guard the clock tower, like they always fucking do, and the rest of them are going to go directly to Castle Wyvern to confront Xanatos because they saw him in that lab last night, And then as Goliath walks off, he like walks directly into the camera, and I swear to God, his pecs like engulf.
Oh my
you
god, yes!
as
That I love that you made a gif of that scene too. Like, oh my
like
god.
they get so big and they fill the screen. Like it's
It
only
looks like
his body.
it looks like a POV of him just like walking over to you while you're in the corner of the room, and he's like suffocating you with
Oh
his
my
tits.
God! Please,
That's what
Daddy,
I got
don't
out of
suffocate
it.
me anymore. Let me breathe.
Oh my god! I can't believe you just said that right now. Oh my god. I mean, like I've thought it in my mind, but to hear it out loud is just like ooh.
Okay, Castle Woovern. All four mutates are now there. We have Derek, we have Maggie, and Fang and Claw. The men they're all now wearing the skimpiest speedos possible.
Yeah.
They're sort of like Hank McCoy Beast X-Men
they're
style.
they're hanging brain.
Yeah. And Maggie she's still in her like Cinderella dress, which is I don't think we've described it yet. It's like this very extremely
God.
short dress that like
It's
barely
it's like a caveman ascot.
yeah, she's like the
shoulder
cave
thing.
woman. I can only assume Xanatos has supplied all of their outfits, which explains why he didn't bother getting anything new for
Dude,
Maggie, because
Xanatos
he only
just
cares about the
really-
muscle men.
He really just wants just like a group of muscle men like just protecting.
And then
his
Maggie is just sort of
mansion
like
castle.
also there.
Maggie's there to like satiate the heterosexuals.
Yeah, but like we know that the three mutates.
That's
three
literally her
dudes.
entire fucking role in the series, I think, is
Oh
just
my
to like
God.
remind you that these couple characters are heterosexual and they're thirsting over default women characters.
It's another reason we don't like her.
Yeah. I keep finding more. It's just like she's like an onion. You keep peeling back more. You're like, ew, go away.
So Derek looks like he's in much better spirits tonight because he's like, well, if we're hot furries now, then let's be the hottest furries we can be. So he starts like flying around, experimenting with his powers. The others follow, and they're all like gliding. Fang is unbearably sexual. He has one
I
line in this
know.
episode.
I know.
And it's, hey, he can keep his cure. I like this.
Oh
He's
my
like,
god.
He's into this body he has.
My
'Cause
boy.
He can fly. He's got big muscles. He can fuck Claw like anytime he wants to. Like he's living the good life at the moment. And he's a
I
massive
feel-
furry.
I feel like just like Fang is like that one cat you have in your house who's like kind of an asshole to everyone, but you love that cat regardless. So yeah, he's such an asshole.
Yes, he's so bad. Xanatos is watching them fly around, like you do, and he says, "Owen, find me the best geneticist on the planet." And then Owen just walks away without saying anything, which I just thought that was amusing. It's just like,
Why does Owen's presence just satisfy you so?
like it's just like even when he's not saying anything, I can somehow like feel the sassiness just like radiating off of
you
him.
can feel the sass.
Yeah, he's gonna. Well, maybe he didn't say anything because his mouth is already full with a message for Xanatos.
I think he's sending the message to the geneticist.
So the mutates, they're all busy like flexing their big muscles. They're wiggling their asses at each other. Suddenly they hear a roar. It's a gargoyles roar. So okay, the gargoyles are coming in. The mutates wheel
my
and
God.
attack because Derek fucking hates the gargoyles because he blames them.
Those gargoyles!
Even
Ooh,
though,
they made
like-
me a mutant furry.
I'm pretty
Ooh.
sure it's funny because the gargoyles. I'm pretty sure they don't even know like who any of these people even are.
Yeah,
They're just
right.
Like, okay, whoever you guys are, I guess we're fighting now. So Lex and Broadway, like they immediately get punched out. I think Fang and Claw punch them out.
Yeah, they're like,
was
oh,
pretty
he's
hot,
got
actually.
she's got friends, and they don't like us, like so casually as they're being punched out by.
Yeah,
them.
I like that they had banter with each other. Then
Oh,
they're unconscious.
she's got friends. Oh, and they don't like us. That's literally how it goes. It's like so casual.
It's like they just flew into the fists like on purpose.
Yeah.
Brooklyn, he flies over to Maggie. He tries to plead his case with her again. Like, I'm so tired of straight people. But she just flies away from him because she doesn't want to talk to Brooklyn right now.
Oh my god, it's like, you're not fucking Johnny Bravo. You can't just keep chasing women around and expect them to fall into your fucking arms.
Exactly.
Lovingly.
You know, if it doesn't work for Johnny Bravo, it's not going to work for Brooklyn.
Exactly.
I'll tell you that much. Derek is going for Goliath, and like okay, he's flying right behind Goliath, like in such a way that he can definitely see like Goliath's entire ass. Like
I don't.
he's looking up his loincloth, like you can see where his eyes are looking. Like
I guess being a mutant furry brought some other quips into him, such as, feline hypersexuality.
probably. I mean, okay, he probably also has been having sex with Fang and Claw already.
As a cat boy, I can attest it's like a curse on us, and it's just sometimes you don't even think you're looking at.
Oh wait, okay,
gargoyle
okay, he's a
butts, and
cat
then
though. So is he like in heat? Is that what happens to cats?
That's what it is. We get the heat. We're in heat, and then
so he just sees Goliath's ass flying around, and is like, "That's mine now."
Yeah, pretty much. That's why he huddles so close to them when they're fighting.
Yeah, like he does what every bad guy does when they fight Goliath,
quote,
and he just wants
fighting,
to fuck Goliath.
Unquote. Yeah, that's literally what that's what it looks like. I feel like Fang should also have like a moment of hypersexuality, but this episode's not about Fang. We're just introducing
Fang has
him.
actually one line in the whole episode, and it was really hot. But that's all that we have.
Oh man, I love him. And Claw, you know what I love about Claw is that, he's handicap representation. Not only that, but they don't have a voice actor for Claw because he doesn't have a voice.
Yeah.
So he kind of just exists as his own entity.
Like he uses
so it's not like
language,
it's not like Keith David as Goliath. It's just Claw.
Beautiful Claw.
He's there for eye makes him feel a little more real to me.
Yes, I agree. Okay,
anyways,
so Derek, he swoops in. He gets Goliath in a chokehold somehow. I don't know if Goliath was like even paying attention to him at this point, but then they drop down to like the castle battlements. I don't fucking know. They wrestle around.
Just like in an area in the castle, and they're wrestling around.
Yeah, they roll around like on the stones.
Oh, I guess
for,
this
like,
is kind of like a recurring technique that Derek / Talon has as he fights, because like he does the same thing to Fang in another episode.
That's right, when he fights Fang. I forgot about that.
But it looks like he's just vigorously dry humping Fang.
Yeah, but he's doing the same thing to Goliath here.
He is.
He's definitely throwing a boner. He's rubbing it against Goliath's ass. But then Goliath throws him off. Goliath is probably so tired by this point of bad guys rubbing their dicks on him. He's like, "Oh my, I know I'm the most fuckable man in the show, but can you please calm down?"
Well, I mean, Goliath, you're the one who had the boobah crossfade. We can't just ignore that. We're gonna have some kind of drive towards that. You can't just walk around with your titties out like that and expect nothing to happen.
It's so much. Although Derek also has his titties out right now. He's wearing so little at the moment.
They both got their titties out. They be rubbing up against each other. They're half naked.
They're comparing pecs. They're comparing dicks. Derek is going to make Goliath pay for what he did to him.
Oh yeah, no, it's totally platonic. Yeah,
yes.
It's totally revenge based.
So while Xanatos is watching the two of them just fuck on the castle, Owen sidles up to him and he's like, what does he say? Detective Maza is downstairs, and Xanatos says to send her up because we have to stop this senseless violence.
Yeah, senseless violence.
One of the funniest lines in all of Gargoyles.
We have to stop this senseless violence, says the man who incited
who instigated the entire thing.
I'm the good guy, Xanatos. Wink, wink.
Brooklyn chases Maddie up to a tower, and this is this is where I really don't like Brooklyn.
Oh my
he's
God.
Why are you afraid of me? I want to help you, which is such a borderline creepy nice guy thing to say. It's
wow.
Okay, if she doesn't want you to help her, maybe you should just not help her and stop freaking her out.
Monster no bad, monster good. Me want help.
And she reacts by saying, "No, you don't. You want me to remain a monster. Like you!" And she blasts him, like, full in the face with her
Oh my
lightning powers,
god.
which she has. Which once again brings his electrical plane to change. So that probably just made him like her even more.
Oh
And,
yeah. Oh
but,
yeah. Oh yeah. Oh my god. How
yeah.
many times has he been electrocuted in this show right now? I didn't even factor that in.
Yeah,
Oh my
like, we know that he's
god.
into that. So, like, he's subdued because he gets a massive boner, like, against his will.
Of course.
Down below, Derek is also blasting Goliath. I'm pretty sure Goliath also
Yeah.
gets a massive boner, because, like, he also just sort of... He does
Well, I
that
mean,
thing Goliath
you
does
know,
sometimes, where he, like,
well,
lays on the floor, like, panting, and being like, "Oh, I'm so helpless right now." You
oh,
know, like...
please help. He's grabbing my titties. That's my
Uh-huh.
special
Just,
spot. It's where
oh,
my
he
power, the
got
source of my
me.
power. Anyways, okay, next scene.
Elisa interrupts that tender moment. She's pointing a gun at Goliath's assailant, not realizing that, like, this is her brother's persona who she's pointing her gun out.
Oh
And
my
she
god,
she orders
drama.
him calmly to tell her who he is. Derek laughs and says, "Call me Talon." Which is, like, the edgiest thing I can conceive of anyone saying
I
in any
came up
given
with that
moment.
myself, considering I have talons
I'm like,
now.
yeah, because he holds up his talons as he says it. Like, "Oh, I'm named after these." Like, okay,
This
yeah,
is a part of my body now.
oh my god, it's like, I don't know. I don't know.
He's so stupid, dude.
Elisa does this weird thing where she starts walking around Talon in circles, but then he also, like, does it back to her, so they're just, like, walking around each other. I don't know why they do this, but
Because
she's just
it's
like,
like,
"Okay, Talon, why are you stomping my friend here? Your friend made me like this. Impossible. Goliath would never intentionally hurt anyone." Which is pretty funny, because I'm pretty sure he's intentionally hurt a lot of people, like, in front of her by this point. But okay, Elisa. And she's all like, "Look, I want to help you." And he says, "Promise? Cross my heart? Hope to..." And then she immediately recognized him. She's like, "Derek?" She's like, "Holy shit, Derek? Is that you?"
so stupid.
Which is like, whoa. I feel like she already sort of suspected just from his voice and, like, the way he carried himself. I just thought that instant flash of recognition was
That
really well done here.
I
And then,
guess. I mean, it's literally the only reason why they had that initial scene with Derek and
yeah,
Elisa at the
I mean,
beginning, just so they
we've
could
seen so
reestablish
little of
it here.
their rapport before now. Like, it was only really that one episode where they spent most of the time fighting.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
Okay.
mean, it's clumsy. It might be a little clumsily handled, maybe, but whatever.
I don't know. I just think this whole. I don't know. Okay, continue.
But he huddles his wings around himself and just screams, "No!" Because, like, this is the
Thanks.
reaction every teen would have to, like, their mom finding their porn stash. Like, he can't face her. So, okay, they have a conversation. She's all like, "Xanatos did this to you." He says it was an accident. He's trying to help me. She's, like, up against his wings, like, trying to talk to him. So, like, the wings are an effective metaphor here for, like, him shutting her out, like, literally.
Oh my
Ooh.
god.
And she's all like, "No, don't you get it? He's lying. He's always lied to you." And this is the part that reminds me of X-Men. Because he accidentally uses his powers here at a time of, like, heightened emotions. Like, his, like, electricity runs into her body, like, from his wings, and she falls, and he's all like, "Oh, I'm sorry," like, he didn't mean to do it. But then she looks at him, like, terrified, because, like, I think, like, she can't recognize him right now, because, like, it's like he's not her brother, and that's really scary to her.
Yeah, well, he's being a cat.
Electrocuting people, crying, being
Yeah,
dramatic.
yeah, it's like a soap. This whole scene reminds me of a soap opera, honestly.
It was so proper. Yeah, especially because he then, like, just sort of
I was
screams
expecting
and,
like an
like, runs
organ. I was
away.
almost expecting like an organ cue as soon as she said Derek. Like da da.
But he flies off the castle. He's covering his face like he's the fucking like Phantom of the Opera as he's doing this. Just like he can't let her see him. He's so hideous. And then all the other mutates are sort of like follow behind him. I don't know where they're going. They go away.
I don't know. They're going
now.
somewhere. They're like they got places to be.
So the Gargoyles, they all land together in a clump around Goliath, who's like, he's finally coming out of subspace now. He's like, oh, I have to be in charge again. Broadway asks if they should go after the mutates, but Brooklyn's like, no, she doesn't want our help. She doesn't.
Who gives a shit about?
She
Maggie?
doesn't want me.
Who gives a shit about Matt? She doesn't want me. That fucking lie.
This episode is like angst overload. And like everyone is just being so like wooby the whole time.
It's not even like a good angst. It's just like annoying.
But they're like this is the most teenage like Brooklyn has ever been. It's so much.
Yeah.
And then Elisa points extremely dramatically at Xanatos and like poses. And she's all like, it's war now. You're going down for this. And then she, like, power walks away from him.
Like, Xanatos the whole time. It's like that image where, like, someone's pointing, like, a knife at the cat, and the cat's just smiling.
Because he doesn't even really react. He just sort of, like, vaguely blinks as she, like, gets in the elevator, I guess, and leaves.
You're going down, Xanatos.
Just like the way she made that announcement and like just sort of left, like went off camera, and we're like, okay.
She had to wait the entire elevator down to the bottom, and after like saying what she said, and it's like the beeping of every single passing floor because it's a big ass castle above the clouds, so it takes some time.
I still want to live there.
Yeah,
okay.
Me too.
Later that night, Xanatos is in office. Owen comes in. He says, "May I present, sir, the best geneticist on the planet?" And ta-da!
Oh my god!
It's our old friend, Anton Savarius!
Oh my god, Tim Curry, you're alive!
He's back. He was in a trench coat. He was in disguise.
Tim Curry!
He says, I was...
It's like unwrapping a present. Like, I got him. I got the geneticist.
Oh my god. Okay, but he looks different here. Like, he looks younger. He doesn't have the white streaks in his hair. Like,
well, because
he was in disguise before.
He portrayed himself as a frail older man, and he's actually like a young man with like a flat top.
Like, I guess that's what he thought Derek would assume, like, a mad scientist would look like. I don't know.
Oh, yeah! Okay, that's why he looks like a mad scientist.
Like, it's so weird. So he just says, stupid. I was particularly proud of my death scene. He says, and Xanatos says, frankly, Savarius, how they overplayed the parts. So, okay, they run through a conversation. Savarius does say it took them months of forcing early test subjects to escape before the Gargoyles even spotted Maggie.
Oh my god.
So, like, how many test subjects have they let go?
How many times have Claw and Fang been running through the streets?
Oh, do you think was it Claw and Fang? Because I assumed that they were intentionally releasing only females. But, maybe you're right. That makes sense.
Wait, no, come on. I burped mid-sentence.
Excuse you, princess.
I'm sorry. Okay. So, I don't know. That's my only assumption because there's no other mutates.
My assumption was that they'd had earlier test subjects, let them escape, and then when the Gargoyles didn't see them, they killed the test subjects and then retried.
Oh my god.
That had been what I thought they were talking about.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Because it's Xanatos and Savarius.
I don't know. I didn't. For some reason, my mind didn't immediately go to murder when I heard this.
Mine did. Okay, so Xanatos presses a button on his desk, and a sex clip of Talon, like, jerking off appears on his big screen TV in the office.
It's literally just Talon just, like, in his, like, undies, doing flips, doing little flippies in the air.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's what it really is, but we know that it's actually a sex clip for Xanatos to jerk off, too.
Obviously.
He says, well suited to his new form, wouldn't you say?
Okay, wait. If you undergo your theory that there... that there were other subjects that they killed, that means that Maggie is like the only. Oh my god. They could have killed Maggie and we missed our chance because of fucking Brooklyn.
Aw, I'm sorry. Maybe we'll
I
kill her
would have.
next episode.
No. No. I wish.
So Savarius says, yes, but they've all escaped. And then Xanatos is just like, they'll be back. Derek, or Talon, as he calls himself now, is convinced that only I can cure him. And that delusion will keep him just where I want him. Just like, okay, they're both definitely bad people who just decided to
Check
mess with
and
these other
mate.
people's lives for their own
Yeah.
amusement.
Pretty much. I mean, that's how. I mean, they're billionaires, you know? That's just
Yeah.
how. Crypto.
And the final scene is a very quick one. There we see Brooklyn back at the clock tower. He's staring like morosely out the window. Lexington is trying to comfort him. And then we see Elisa laying on a pile of hay?
Well, it's very little house on the prairie.
Why is
looking.
there hay in the clock tower?
I don't know.
But she's sobbing her eyes out though. The others are like,
Cause it's not because of Talon, because she's allergic to, to
oh
hay.
my god, don't ruin this scene.
Like, why would you lay in something you're allergic to, Lisa? Get the fuck
I don't
out.
know why there's hay in the clock tower. But the others, they're up above, like on the other side of the room, like sort of like looking at like her, but like none of them like move to like comfort her. Just I think they feel like it's too much like for them.
Yeah.
They're just gonna like let her
Like, this is
like,
outside
go
their
through the
reach.
emotions. Yeah.
They're just big, strong men. They don't know how to, like,
Oh
do
my
the
God.
therapy, psychological damage of, like, your brother becoming a furry.
Yeah. And there's just a close up on her tear-streaked face as like the credits roll, which is like honestly this is one of my favorite endings in the
Yeah,
show.
I mean, that last scene was like, yeah, I could feel it. But it's like,
it just it feels really real, and I guess it brings it home that they go through a lot of like fantastical events on this show, but for the characters in the world, like they have really real consequences to those events.
yeah,
but-
I mean, okay.
That
So
was
that was
Metamorphosis.
Metamorphosis. Yeah. What did you think of it, Croup? What would you rate it?
Okay, I remember really disliking. Like when I think of this episode, I only think of Maggie, and I'm just like, ugh.
Okay,
But like,
yeah, same.
honestly, it's real. I think it's very important. Like, you can't skip this episode.
Yeah, I
thought-
know, but
Like, Zine Xanatos like very easily manipulate.
you can't
like,
you
everyone
can't skip
was
Enter
good.
Macbeth either, technically,
Yes,
because
you can.
no, they move locations, leave Castle Wyvern,
Oh,
and
yeah,
we're
that
introduced to
happens in that one.
Macbeth. So yeah, we can't skip.
But like, I the rating for this one, I gave it 3 out of 5 loincloths. Because I thought it
Okay.
was a good episode. Maggie did bring it down like a full grade all by herself. And it also like the animation was not good in this whole episode.
Yeah,
But like there was good character work. They introduced a whole new group of characters. And one of my favorite bad guys, who is Anton Savarius, who I love.
I thought you were gonna say Fane. Like, oh my god.
No, fuck Fang. You like
What?
Fang.
I love Fane.
Fang is
and
okay.
Claw.
To me, Fang is just like that hot bad guy who like is fun to see him just like get easily subdued and like spanked by the heroes. Like
Well, that's why I
like
love
Fang for
him.
that reason.
What?
But, like,
That's literally
Savarius,
why
though-
I love all the characters I love. What? Do you have a problem with this?
Like I adore Savarius though, because he's just like unhinged and like just completely insane.
And he's
and,
Tim Curry.
And he just doesn't view anyone else as like mattering. Like they're all just things for him to
He's
toy
like
with.
he's like a genuine like psychopath.
Yeah, but you know he joins the ranks of the others in this episode.
Yep.
But yeah, I
Okay.
thought that was really good at focus on Elisa and Brooklyn as well, even if Brooklyn was fucking annoying. But yeah, what did you think of it?
I give it 1 loincloth.
Oh my god, your first 1 loincloth rating? Wow.
The writing was like, I don't know what it was. It was just like, just every decision the characters made in this episode pissed me off. And the only ones who were making the reasonable decisions were not the ones in the focus. I like the
Yeah.
stuff with Xanatos. I like the introduction of Savarius. I like the introduction of, the two nameless mutants that we will learn more about later.
Oh yeah, they're gonna
Um,
get named in this episode. That sucks.
yeah, no, I know, but
Our
it's
our
like
poor boys. We were gonna spend so much
they
time on them
they
when we get
gave
an episode about them.
they gave Maggie too much screen time. Um, and just I don't know. I just this episode was almost like a chore for me to sit through at some parts because
Yeah.
I wasn't feeling immersed. I wasn't in a mood when I watched this episode just now, or not just now today. I wasn't in the mood to like be like immersed in dramatic emotion, and I guess that's really why it didn't like resonate with me. I'm like, okay, now I gotta deal with them going through this shit, like really, over this stupid shit that happened.
I mean,
I,
it was
I
definitely a step down from our previous episode, Leader of the Pack, which
oh
was
yeah, no, I'd say it's a big
incredible.
one.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
But we did get a bunch of
Generally,
hot furries added to the show, at least. So like that's at
yeah.
least it's something. There was a lot of fan
Uh,
service with them
This is
flying
not an
around.
episode I would like willingly revisit though.
And yeah, like it's usually a skip if I'm rewatching the show. Like this is not one of the
Yeah,
ones I'll
yeah,
intentionally go to first
definitely.
and be like, oh, I gotta rewatch Metamorphosis, one of my favorites.
No, I mean, I've never felt that way towards. I mean, I like just the title, and I like, maybe if they drew it out into more than one episode with this whole like Derek turning into a furry thing. I don't know. It just seems like so out of left field considering where we left Derek off. I mean, not really out of left field, but it's like, it's just such a jarring
It
comparison to see Derek in season one and then Derek as this mutant furry now. Like that
Yeah,
character
like
model
it is.
is
It
now
is a
gone.
surprise. Like I mean, it's such a sudden change, and it takes him by surprise too. That like
I
he's
guess
been
that's the
turned into
point,
this
but at
thing.
the same time, it's just I don't know. I don't know. I just
I
I
just,
don't
I guess the
I
writers were like, how many hot men do we have in the show? And they counted them up. They're like, okay, like 10 or so. We need more, more hot men. So that's
they
why we
make
have Derek and the
they make a
mutates
lot of
now.
like changes in season two. They're like now we have the superhero element in. Let's just start throwing these plot arcs at our way.
Oh, I
And
can't
we
wait.
because in season one it's all about them finding their path, and by the end of it they're like, yeah, okay, I think we settled on a path, we're going to protect the innocent. And then immediately we're thrust into a scenario of them having to rekindle with their old foes from season one, and now it feels like we're wrapping up like other arcs from season one and preparing for the rest of season two right now. And I think
Yeah.
this episode really makes it prominent because it's like it just can't express how
Yeah,
much like
like, well, last episode they sort of like wrapped up the pack arc, so to speak,
I
and they
I
started
I
a new
like
era with them, and this one does the same for Derek.
I like seeing Claw and Fane on screen. I just can't stand the process of getting there with the mutant arc. I mean, I like Savarius though. He's entertaining.
He's wonderful, a wonderful man.
Yeah, like okay, but that's my 2 cents. That's my critique. That's what I think.
I'm amazed. We finally okay. So between us, that makes this a 2 loincloth episode. I think it's our lowest rated episode yet. One day we'll have a
Um,
1 loincloth. We'll both agree on 1 loincloth. It'll be the worst episode of all time. I can't wait till we figure out which it is.
I cannot wait. Okay, so
Horniest, horniest moment.
earliest moment. Um, Savarius uplifting that wall panel and just showing like these two beefy mutant furries just doing it.
That was pretty good. Okay, when he did that, also like the first thing we don't see like Fang's whole body. It's like a view from behind him, and we just see like his big legs, pretty much.
We see his thigh.
His thick, heavy thighs.
His furry, thick, muscular thigh.
That was pretty
Mm,
good. I think for me, I have 3 written down. I have Goliath's pecs coming at you.
Oh yeah, that's also a good one.
I have Derek and Goliath wrestling around, which was also like very hot. And
Yeah,
then like this
yeah.
isn't really an animator moment, but like the moment where Fang just like finally talked and like basically like
Oh yeah.
Sky orgasmed up there was like very
It's
sexual to
what's
me.
so funny is
What?
like that's the only time he has that voice actor.
Yes, I think Jonathan Frakes does his voice, right? Who's
Jonathan
also the
Frakes
voice
does
of
his voice in this
Xanatos.
episode, I believe, and then later on he's voiced by Jim Belushi for the rest of the
Yes.
series.
So like, Xanatos, our writer, is also hot Fang for one line. He knocked it out of the park, I think.
I think
It
he
was
got what they ended up doing with the character pretty well.
that's what I wanted.
Yeah, but I wish I could see more of Claw and Fane without the other two
Me
involved.
too.
I
Yeah.
mean, I know Talon's hot, but like, he's
But
hot in
he's
like a
fucking
straight
stupid
fuckboy
though.
way. Like, we don't
He's
like
hot, but
Derek.
he's
We've
so
established
dumb.
that.
Yeah.
And Matt, I don't even want to mention her name again. I've talked about her too much.
They deserve each
Um,
other, I'll say that much.
yeah. Okay. So is that your final consensus on horniest moment? Like, what was your?
I don't know. Okay, if I have to pick just one, probably Derek and Goliath wrestling. Because,
I
like,
didn't.
we get Goliath packs all the time.
You did seem pretty fixated on the fact that Derek was looking up Goliath's loincloth for a bit
That did
there.
also happen, yeah.
I just didn't fixate it on that as much as just like that breath of fresh air is like my two favorite Catboys in the show being revealed. I'm like, okay, thank God, finally some characters I actually like.
I think it's because I also recently wrote a Gargoyles fan fiction that had Talon in it, and, like, I did I mean, actually, it has Fang and
No,
Claw are
dude. Oh my
also in
God, I love
it,
that fan fiction. It
but
had Bane, Talon, all of them.
it
Did
has
it?
a lot of people.
It does. Yes, I
By
like
the
it a
way,
lot. I
if
like the way
anyone wants
it
to
ended.
read my fan fiction, which I recently did some Gargoyles stories, which is a rarity for me,
What?
you can subscribe to my Patreon for just $1 a month. That gives you access, or just for the Gargoyles fan fiction, I did put them on the Loincloth Discord. So if you join the Discord, you can read my sexy porn writings if you're, like, eager to do that. This
If
is
you're
a
really,
rare,
really
once in a lifetime
thirsty,
opportunity.
if you're like me and you are really, really thirsty for these horny gargoyle characters, you can join our Discord today. And
Yes.
in that Discord, you can find some horny, horny writings of these very hunky, hunky men.
There's peril, there's spanking, there's bondage. Like, there's a lot in the story, and there's 2 chapters up so far, but there's going to be at least like 5 or 6, I think.
I'm excited for the
That's how
next
much we have
chapter
plotted.
because I really like how we left off on the last one.
Yeah, there were lots of ooh, I wonder what's trying to happen now. It's like a
I'm
lot of these
excited.
good boys are in the bad guys' clutches. Uh-oh.
Oh no, my least favorite kind of situation. Oh dear.
Okay, speaking of such situations, who are our gayest characters for
Okay.
Metamorphosis?
There's too much heterosexuality in this episode.
Yeah, I would say there's too
I
much
I
heterosexuality.
just I think Xanatos is gay. I think Derek's gay for wanting to wrestle with Goliath. I think
Yeah.
Claw and Fane are gay for being walled off in a room together while Maggie has her own space. I still think that's really weird and convenient that Savarius
Okay,
has
like,
these two
probably
stuck
they're just
together.
separating, like, the males from the females, because probably just Savarius' mind. He doesn't want them to mate and have Yun yet until he's, like, ready
What?
for them to
Oh,
do that.
maybe. I don't know. I
But,
don't
like,
know.
but then, like, all that means is just that Fang and Claw just keep having sex, which is something he can also look at and be like, oh my.
I forgot straight sex was a thing for a second because I didn't even think about that separation of the sexes
Like,
until
okay,
we
it
brought
makes
that
me
up.
think of Final Fantasy VII, where, like, Aerith and Red 13 are putting that cage together, and Hojo is like, okay, now mate together. And, and us, the gamers, are like, are they even compatible? Like, what is happening? What is this? But yeah, I think Savarius was, like, trying to avoid a situation like that. I
I
think.
don't know. I don't think pregnation can happen that quickly with mutates.
I don't know much about mutates or their physiology.
Well, Savarius did, and he knew enough to wall Thane and Claw in their own little room together.
Okay, maybe he really walled them together because he wanted them to have sex and he wanted to know if, like, Mpreg could happen. Because he also put Mpreg into the mutate bodies.
Oh
Like,
my
he added some seahorse
god.
genetics into them as well.
Dude, he has the technology that allows gay men to get pregnant together?
Yeah, he has seahorse
Oh my
DNA. So,
god. I need that. I'm gonna have a love baby with Wolf.
hot.
And it's gonna be half cat and half wolf.
Uh, weird.
It's like a cat dog.
No! Okay.
It's fine.
All
Okay.
I have written down is Fang and Claw. Although Derek is also very gay in this episode, so like,
I gotta lean towards Fang and Claw because it's like
yeah, I'll give it to them. They're
because
beautiful together.
they're gay, they're homeless together, they're gay together, they're furries together.
They do everything together.
They do. Like that's why they were such a team until the cage episode. What the one where like they imprisoned Fang for being like evil or whatever.
Yeah, which is also hot because it means
And
that,
that's
like,
kind
they
of like their
punish him a
breakup
lot.
episode.
Oh, I know. I don't want to get there, but I do
I
want to
know.
get there.
Yeah. But
Okay. Uh, what now? We
Yeah.
have plugs and we have an email.
We have plug. Yeah, let's do the emails.
Did we reply to the rest of Artizak's questions? I feel like we did just in the episode.
We did. You
What
wanted
kind
to
of
do
person do you think
Artizak
each of the
straight
mutates
away.
were before the transformation, and what led them to their present dilemma, particularly Claw? We talked about that, right?
Yeah. I mean, I theorize
They
that
were
Fang.
gay.
Yeah, like Claw might have been this protective, like male figure in Fang's life, and like maybe Fang just had no one else to hang out with except for this one guy who would just like because it is implied that they knew each other before their mutation, so it's
Yeah.
like
Okay, we don't know the reason that Claw, like, lost his voice, or, like, what
they
traumatic
established
events.
that.
Was it the
They do-
transformation, or did it happen, like, while he
Maggie-
was still a human?
For some reason, Maggie gets defensive when Fang is bullying Claw at one point, and Maggie's like, he hasn't talked since he transformed.
Okay, but how would she know that?
I don't know. They just
Because
assume it's, like,
she didn't know them before.
I don't know. She's a fucking bitch. I don't know. Part of me wants to think that Claw was just handicapped, and it's not just like the trauma from like turning into a Catman. Because I really am a fan of that.
Because we like him as a
representation.
Catman, and we don't want to, like, feel guilty that, like, he's been fucking traumatized by it.
I think they just assumed he was. I don't know. But yeah, no, he in terms of I know Claw is like older than Fang. We've talked about this.
Yeah.
But he's like sweeter than Fang is.
I think Claw was, like, this big muscle guy, and then Fang was, like, his, like, big, but, like, not as big, like, bratty bully Dom, who, like, led him around on a collar.
The thing is, Fang is the shortest of the mutates, but he's also like definitely one of the more beefiest. Think like Wolverine stature.
Yeah. Wolverine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we have one email. Would you like to read it? It's from...
Okay, is this
I think this is Remy.
Remy? Yeah, this is definitely Remy, just like from the organization pattern.
I'm bad with names. I'm pretty sure it's Remy.
Okay. Hello, Loincloth Hour crew. We had to come to a rant-worthy episode eventually. My apologies for this one. It's a long one. Yeah, it's Remy. Come on. Once again,
We
episode...
we love long emails though.
Like just from the way it starts out, like that's Remy.
Oh.
Once again, an episode featuring Wolf goes quite long, but for very good reasons. And it wasn't just Wolf, it was so much stuff happening in one episode, so it's no wonder that it's a memorable one. And hearing you guys go really in-depth with it was a ton of fun. And knowing just what the next pack episode is, gosh, I can't wait till you guys get to that. It'll be great.
I don't even know what the next one is.
I'm pretty sure it's when they transform.
Okay, I don't like that one though.
Yeah, I kind of do. I mean, it's like okay.
We'll see. Maybe I'll like
Okay.
it more this time.
But on to the next episode. Oh boy, we go from one end of the spectrum to the other, from the pack to Derek and Maggie.
Ugh.
Ugh, what a slog this episode was, mostly due to certain characters. We should start with Derek then, because by golly, this guy has been an idiot since her brother's keeper and continues to be one here. Thank you, yes.
Okay,
Still,
he's more of an idiot in this episode. His
still
idiocy,
trusting
like, became
everything
worse.
Xanatos says, even when he's so obviously sinister when Derek insists on accompanying him to Genutech and everything that happens afterwards. The
He
fact
did
that
smile
Derek...
very evilly in that scene, didn't he?
Yeah, like, come on, come on. Like, you don't listen to that smile. You don't trust a man with that kind of smile. The fact that Derek clearly did not listen to that tape Elisa gave him of Xanatos' misdeeds pisses me off. I always wondered just what happened to that tape. Bet it must be a never live it down moment for Derek. Now, he's too stupid to even register that that was his own fault.
He probably completely forgot the tape even existed by now. He's like, well, out of sight, out of mind.
God. The fact that this idiot constantly chooses to trust the shady billionaire white guy. Is Xanatos white? He's kind of tannish.
He might be, like, Mediterranean. Isn't his father, like, Greek or something?
I can't say for sure. But anyways, the point still, the billionaire guy over his own sister, both before and after his mutation, yeah, the whole mutated thing is Derek's own damn fault, and I never felt sorry for him about it. Thank you. I think that's just how I felt considering the end of this episode. I felt more sorry for Elisa than I did Eric. Or Derek.
Yeah.
Because it's like, Derek's just, ugh. And next was Brooklyn, now firmly imbued with simp status. He came across as desperate and, yeah, pretty damn pathetic over how he kept thirsting over Maggie, though thankfully we had Broadway and Lexington mercilessly snarking at him about it, which made me smile every time that happened. Figures that the start of Brooklyn's downfall
I'm
and
very
simp
glad
status
they were there.
starts out with him going gaga for the worst character in the whole show. Okay, so there's some information here about Maggie.
Oh. Information.
Okay. Just give me a second. I'm reading an email with COVID. Okay. Maggie fucking Reed. The wiki states she moved to New York with nothing but $2,200 and dreaming of becoming a famous actress. She got no acting jobs and burned through her money and ended up homeless. Is this D from Always Sunny in Philadelphia? Isn't this just her backstory? But then her ridiculous insistence that she's not like people in similar conditions and that her being homeless is a temporary setback. This is D! This is D! Maggie's literally D. Reynolds. Okay, from some weirdo. This is just a temporary setback and accepting a job proposition from some weirdo whose creeper meter goes way over 10. Yeah, this is D. This is definitely D. This is just
God.
D.
So is Savarius like Frank Reynolds in this situation?
Why didn't he turn her into a bird? You goddamn
like bird.
She does look like a bird. Yep, I legit have zero sympathy for her stupid self. And I understand that getting mutated would be traumatizing, but holy shit, the way she kept fucking everything up for the Gargoyles trying to help her was infuriating. Thank you. Especially when she keeps angsting about her mutation, yet constantly fucks things up for those trying to help her, and even accuses them of wanting her to say, like, them? Like, what the shimmering fuck kind of ass-backwards logic is that? Syd is totally right. This bitch makes every situation worse just by existing, and her being so goddamn annoying and useless is especially noteworthy when you take into account that this show is full of female characters who are smart, strong, resourceful, competent, and everything that Maggie isn't. Oh my god. I'm, like, Remy and I are just vibing. We're on the same page right now. Like at first, you know, I'm like, oh, I think he's being a little too harsh on these characters, but no.
Then we got to Maggie, and we're just like, no, yeah, fuck her.
I think Remy's being the appropriate amount of harsh on these characters in hindsight. Like, I think we've alleviated to where it's kind of like, you know, you started out like, I hate these characters. I was like, I don't know. But then it's like, now we're on the opposite, where it's like, you're seeing why these characters do the things they do. And I'm like, I hate the things they do. Get them out of here.
Yep.
Okay. Anyways, he leaves off the email, but that's enough ranting for now. Here's looking forward to this episode of the podcast
Oh,
and how
there's
you
you
guys
just
will
skipped a
roast the awful
paragraph actually.
characters. Oh, wait. Oh, okay. At least the episode did have some good things. Broadway and Lexington snarking at Brooklyn, as I already mentioned, plus Xanatos being the tip-top shape in his villainous ways, with this being, in my opinion, arguably the most outright evil thing he ever does in the show, especially when we see Elisa broken down crying by the end of the episode. That I do have to agree with. It's kind of
Yeah,
fucked up to just, like, genetically mutate homeless people just to, like, fuck up the lady cop who's siding with the gargoyles.
it's pretty crazy that he just decided to do this today.
And of course, the introduction of two standouts for me, and me as well.
And me,
Fane and
three.
Claw. Oh, okay. You want to join the Catboy Brigade,
I
do
just
you?
wanted to be included.
Ah. Oh, okay. Okay, interesting. Okay. I really like those two, and it's a bummer that they had no characterization in this episode beyond Fane stating that he enjoys being a mutate better than a human, which made me instantly like this furry champ. At least the two will provide a nice contrast in the future episodes to balance out the awfulness of Derek and Maggie.
Yep.
Okay. But that's enough ranting for now. Here's looking forward to this episode of the podcast and how you guys will roast the awful characters that give us episodes like this. You all be well and take care. Thank you, Remy.
Oh, thank you.
I will do my best. You always write such great emails.
They fill me with joy
They
every
also
day.
give me the joy.
They they fill you.
Yeah, like
They,
the catnip up Claw's butt.
oh my god.
Because, like, when you were talking about catnip, I'm thinking, like, oh yeah, maybe Fane could, like, rub some on his nipples and be all like, hey, Claw,
Ooh, hot.
check out, come over here and sniff my pecs for a bit.
Or
See
no,
how
put
they...
it in his armpits.
Oh my god, that's hot. Dirty catboy armpits. I
Yeah.
can't believe that's, like, attractive to me.
Okay, imagine if that did that like to Talon though, and then Talon kept like wanting to stuff his face in there, but like tried to resist, and then just got like mad
Ooh.
about it. And Fang's like, "What's the
Ooh.
matter, boss? Don't you want some of this?" And Talon's like, "Shut up, you."
Oh my god, that's so saucy. That's and oh my gosh, I love that.
He's such a
You're so good at coming up with like these scenarios. It's why you're good at what you do
It's
as a writer.
my curse.
It's your forte.
My forte. Thank you.
It's your forte. Oh, okay.
Rockman and
Or
forte.
curse. You know, potato.
Tomato, tomato.
Yeah. Okay, so I think we're about wrapped up for this episode.
I think so. I hope everyone who's been looking forward to this was adequately satisfied with it.
You just like gave the most like awkward like exit to like a dinner meal. Not like a podcast. Just,
I
like,
hope
it sounds
everyone who
like
looked forward to this was adequately satisfied.
it's like this is not a food. This is entertainment. We're in the entertainment industry.
We're entertainers.
We're like the pole dancers that Savarius calls down.
Yeah, we're out doing the town.
Well, fucking being a cat. Meow meow.
A man cheetah.
Yeah, man, cheetah.
Okay, you can find me, if you want, on Spankercorn on Twitter, Manicorn on Patreon, Croup on Fur Affinity, Manicorn on Archive of Our Own, Soup Goblin on Blogspot. Follow me everywhere, and you won't regret it. I also have a YouTube channel called Manservice, where I put up clips of sexy cartoon men. Also, the Loincloth Hour has its own YouTube page called the Loincloth Hour, where we put episodes
Wow.
of this very show, and also other
Wow.
clips and whatnots.
Yeah.
I'm always afraid I'm gonna forget something while doing that. I think I got everything.
Okay. Don't you like have a book?
A book.
You've written books.
Yes.
You've
Oh yeah.
written books.
If you like to read some of the books I've wrote, they're on Amazon. I have okay. I don't have it. It's not out yet, but it will be out soon. I'm gonna have a third
Ooh,
part to the Argus series.
you can use. Oh my God! Implement the teaser here. You are doing a third part to your Argus the Werewolf series, the Werewolf
Yes.
Spanker
Wait,
series.
did you not know that? Are you acting surprised?
No, I'm acting surprised. Yeah,
Oh, sorry.
this
I
is
ruined your
purely
bit.
for. Oh my
Thank
God!
you.
You're making a new installment. Oh my God! I can't believe this,
Yeah, it's
guys.
gonna be hot though.
Where can
And
we read the first two
you,
installments of Argus the Werewolf Spanker?
you can read them on Amazon as an ebook. If you just search for Argus, they're also on Bad Dog Books, which is a
You're
furry
kidding.
story service.
You don't
Yes,
say.
I do say. And so if you like
And
werewolves, if you like spanking, if you like bondage, if you like burly men capturing werewolves, if you like role reversal, if you like size difference, if you like any of those things and more, you'll probably like the artist books because they have all that shit in it. And they're really hot, I think. And they were fun to write, and the third one was a lot of fun to write, and I think everyone's gonna like it a lot. So fucking read it and jack off to it, and then tell me about it, and then I'll
gee
get a little
willikers,
glow inside.
I think I'll go get my copy right now.
Please do.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess is it my turn with the plugs, right?
Yes.
Okay. Hi, I'm Sid. You can follow me on Twitter at SidScripts, and you can follow me on For Affinity on Alistair Alderman. If you want to see my video edits, you can follow me on Sir Neutral. If you want to see, I don't really have a lot of plugs, do I?
You have a lot of butt plugs.
Well, yeah, but, you know, I'm not advertising those. I don't know, do you want to buy my used butt plugs? Any listeners out there?
I thought you were asking me. Is this like your gamer girl bathwater moment?
Yeah,
Or-
like, buy Sid's used butt plugs.
If you have an offer on them, send us an email at theloinclothhour@gmail.com.
Yeah, I'm starting the bidding down at like $250 because let's be honest, I'm worth a lot.
Yeah, because you're worth it. L'Oreal.
I am. I'll make an NFT of my butt plug,
Please.
and then I'll say, oh, God. That was like the most disgusting sentence I've ever said. I'll do an NFT of my butt plug. Can you believe I said that?
I think that was a good place to end the episode.
Yeah, I really can't come back from that, can I? Okay. Well,
Bam.
I hope you enjoyed the Loincloth Hour. Good night,
Thank
sweet
you
prince.
for watching the show that we put on. I don't know if we're doing a musical thing all the time now.
Ending the episode now because I can't think of any lyrics to sing.
Yay,
Okay.
we did it.
Okay.